Greetings, comrades. Welcome to All Power to the People podcast on Grown Folks Talking, Express Yourself Internet Radio via the Huddle Team app. We meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We discuss local, national, and global events that impact the material conditions of the people and provide viable solutions. We are here to find those tired of the way their lives are socially constructed. As Panthers, we use dialectic materialism. As Dr. Huey P. Newton stated, power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. From combating the housing crisis to police patrols, we are the vanguard in place to serve our communities. The purpose of this program is to highlight contradictions in the electoral process, which Western culture calls politics. Politics is the struggle for resources. Participating in America's electoral process has only taken resources from the people and handed it to the oligarchs and the professional managerial class that serve them by maintaining the status quo through coercion. We know that power lies with the people, and it is our duty to organize and educate the community so that they can fight for their own liberation. So please, join us every Sunday at 12 p.m. You can join by downloading the Huddle Team app, join online, or call in. The app and joining online is free, but if you call in, standard messaging rates may apply. Links to the show will be provided in the caption. This is General Secretary Patience of the new African Black Panther Party, NABPP North. All power to the people.
Around some of the participants, and we're on.
Work with some of your members in French.
I'm sorry?
I work with some of your members in French.
Ah, you do? Okay. All right. So what's your name, please? Your first name?
Jenny.
Jenny. And why are you here, Jenny?
I'm here because I want to show support for the detainees and for their requests. I'm also a medic.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
So I'm here to take care of anyone who gets injured.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Glad to hear this. They do this?
Mostly it's the detainees.
Right.
It's trying to get their message out.
Right, right. And from time to time, they are detainees that are let go. I think a few days ago, a young lady, a high school student.
High school student they let go, and a very sick man they let.
Actually, yesterday, I think it was.
That was yesterday.
A family man, too.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for the your name or nickname?
I'm Wavy Baby 215,
And where are you from?
Philadelphia.
Why are you here today?
I'm here because fuck ICE, fuck their mothers, fuck God. I'm here to stand up for the people of my community, of other people's communities. We're here to stand up for human rights.
And you have any personal experiences with maybe a family member or neighbor that had to experience?
Puerto Rican, which my hair gives me a little bit of safety. I don't think any of us are really safe, right? This is all an illusion of safety, but they're fucking with the Constitution. I mean, they're literally talking about taking away the 14th Amendment, right? Which is what provides due process, protection to imprisoned people and derived citizens. So I don't think any of us are really safe.
Right. And you know, one of the first raids that happened in Newark about a year and a half ago, one of the first people that were detained was a Puerto Rican veteran.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and they had to release him. But since his name is announced, because there's a large class action lawsuit that's going to, over the years, it's going to, absolutely. So we pay for it, though. It's not going to be that, diaper baby over there in the White House.
I would rather us pay for that man to get some kind of justice than for this shit.
Right.
That, I could file an exempt all year. I don't know about anybody else, but my fucking money is not going for this shit.
Right.
At all. My money, the only thing I pay into is Medicare, which is a social program.
Right.
And that type of shit. I don't pay into any of this shit.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. What's your name, please?
Alex.
Okay, and you're part of an organization, or you just volunteering?
I'm currently representing. I guess I always represent them in every way of life, but I'm with the LM Patterson.
Okay. And where are you from?
I'm from around the Patterson.
New Jersey. Okay. All right. I'm from Union City. Okay. And why are you here?
I'm here to stand in solidarity with the strikers, the detainees currently engaged in the hunger and labor strike, and those that need their voices to be amplified.
And have you been touched personally, as in terms of coworkers or neighbors or family members even that might have had run-ins with ICE?
I haven't, but just hearing stories and reading encounters and experiences and understanding what they're enduring and the battles that they're facing, I feel for them in ways that go beyond just that's a stranger, but that's the human being that I love.
Right, I get it. And what is the goal at the end for us here that are protesting, that are expressing our outrage? What to you is the goal eventually?
Freedom for all.
That's right. Okay, thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
Welcome. So Taylor, where are you from?
About 30 minutes away from here, New Jersey.
Okay. Oh, it's good too. We have a lot of local people here. That's going on.
More people should be here.
Right. I think so too. And why are you here?
Fucked up. Because there's human suffering in there. There's concentration camps in America, and nobody fucking cares about it. What happened to? We're never gonna let it happen again, right?
Right. And has it touched you personally, like your neighbor or coworker?
Yeah. And the thing is, it's just even if you don't know someone directly or if it doesn't affect you directly, like you should be caring about it. And that's the problem, is that people don't care about it unless it affects them.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Right. Directly. I mean, my family, half my family from Ecuador, and but they're okay with their status. And I'm born here. I was born in Hoboken, New Jersey, raised in Jersey City. That's not going to stop me because it does hit home. And also being half Puerto Rican, people have been detained. People have been detained. But thank you anyway.
Sorry.
Greetings, comrades. Welcome to All Power to the People podcast.
You're muted. I can't hear you.
I'm good now?
Yeah.
No, I got it. Yeah, you gotta mute everybody too. I just clicked that. All power to the people. Welcome to All Power to the People on Grown Folks Talking Express Yourself. I'm Chairman Africa, and I'm going to be your host for today. So why are we here? We're here to try to find people that are interested in changing the material conditions in our communities so we could transform our communities. There's a lot that's been going on, and I've invited a few people to come. All right, thank you. Am I muted or am I good?
We can hear you.
All power to the people. But yeah, so we have a few guests coming in today. I mean, when they come, we'll see if we could get them in the conversation, get them to join in with us. But I'm about to start the Philadelphia Negro.
The Philadelphia Negro, Chapter 16, Section 48, Benevolence. In the attitude of Philadelphia toward the Negro may be traced the same contradictions so often apparent in social phenomena. Prejudice and apparent dislike, conjoined with widespread and deep sympathy. There can, for instance, be no doubt of the sincerity of the efforts put forth by Philadelphians to help the Negroes. Much of it is unsystematic and ill-directed, and yet it has behind it a broad charity and a desire to relieve suffering and distress. The same Philadelphian who would not let a Negro work in his store or mill will contribute handsomely to relieve Negroes in poverty and distress. There are in the city the following charities exclusively designed for Negroes: Home for the Aged and Infirm Colored Persons, Belmont and Girard Avenues. Home for Destitute Colored Children, Burke Street and Old Lancaster Road. St. Mary Day Nursery, 1627 Lombard Street. The Association for the Care of Colored Orphans, 44th and Wallace Street. Frederick Douglass Memorial Hospital and Training School, 1512 Lombard Street. Magdalene Covenant House of the Good Shepherd, Roman Catholic, Penn and Chew Street, Germantown. St. Mary's Mission for Colored People, 1623 to 29 Lombard Street. Raspberry Street School, 229 Raspberry Street. The Star Kitchen and Allied Enterprises, 7th and Lombard Streets. Colored Industrial School, 20th Street below Walnut. Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament for Indians and Colored People, Cornwell Station, Pennsylvania. Men's Guild House, 1628 Lombard Street. House of St. Michael and All Angels, 613 North 43rd Street. The Industrial Exchange Training School and Dormitory, 756 South 12th Street. 59 of the charities mentioned in the Civic Club Digest discriminate against colored persons. 51 societies profess to make no discrimination. In the case of the larger and better-known societies, this is true. As for instance, the Home Missionary Society, the Union Benevolent Association, the Protestant Episcopal City Mission, the Charity Organization Society, the Children's Aid Society, the Society to Prevent Cruelty to Children, etc. Others, however, exercise a silent policy against Negroes. The Country Week Association, for instance, would rather Negroes should not apply, although it sends a few away each summer. Colored applicants at the building of the Young Women's Christian Association are not very welcome. So with many other societies and institutions, this veiled discrimination is very unjust, for it makes it seem as though the Negro had more health than he does. On the other hand, between donors, prejudiced persons, friends of the Negro, and the beneficiaries, the managers of many of these enterprises find it by far the easiest method silently to draw the color line. 57 other charities make no explicit statement as to whether they discriminate or not. To sum up, then, charitable agencies exclusively for Negroes, 14, whites, 59, which profess not to discriminate, but in some cases do, 51, which make no statements, but usually discriminate, 57, total, 181. On the whole, it is fair to say that about one-half of the charities of Philadelphia, so far as mere numbers are concerned, are open to Negroes. In the different kinds of charity, however, some disproportion is noticeable. Of direct almsgiving, the most questionable and least organized sort of charity, the Negroes receive probably far more than their just proportion, as the study of the work of the great distributing societies clearly shows. On the other hand, protective, rescue, and reformatory work is not applied to any great extent among them. Consequently,
hey, all power to the people. Look, if you're just coming in right now, we have this show every Sunday. Basically, the whole purpose of this show is try to find out ways to change the material conditions in our community, to change how things work in our community. We listen to luminaries. We go back and listen to people like Du Bois, other intellectuals, to see if we could take anything from their teachings, from their lessons, and try to put it together with what we're going on now, what we're dealing with now. We're listening to Du Bois. This is chapter 16. We're a few minutes in, and he's been talking about the charities that they had back then in Philadelphia in 1896, 1897, that were targeted at helping black people, poor black people. And he said the charities these organizations, so far you missed it. If you're just coming in right now, it's been a few minutes. I think like 4 or 5 minutes of it already, about 5 minutes. And he was saying those charities, and it's the same argument that those in the middle class make today. He's saying those charities help out those at the bottom, the poor people, the people that are on the streets with no education, that don't know how to read. Those charities are here to help them, and they're not here to help people in the higher class, like black people that have trades, that are able to take care of themselves. There's no charity or anything here to help them when they lose their jobs. So I'm gonna say it again. He said the charities that we're here to help the poor black people, the ones all the way at the bottom. There's a lot of charities for them. He's gonna repeat it again, but like the middle class black people, there's nothing here for them. And it's a critique that you hear most middle class black people make. Like you'll be scrolling down on Facebook, and you see they'll show a refrigerator with mad food in it, and they'll be like, this is somebody that's on welfare. And then they'll show a refrigerator with no food in it, and be like, there's somebody that got to go pay for their food. And what they're trying to say with that is the society takes care of those who are at the bottom, who are on welfare. Like there are more programs here to help them, and there are no programs to really help those in the middle class. He's making the same argument right here. I'm about to put it. So if you just coming in, that's what you missed. I'm gonna let him keep going.
While actual poverty and distress among Negroes is quickly relieved, there are only a few agencies to prevent the better classes from...
Hey, hold up, wait. but like the part that you missed was, he said all these charities are here to help out poor black people, and then he named all the charities, because Du Bois was a scientist. He needed data. He went and named all the charities, and most of these charities were not government charities. They were through like the church, like the private people had these charities. And when he named them, I think only 1.5% of them catered to black people. Out of all the charities there, only 1.5 of them or something like that catered to black people. Not 2, a little bit more than 1. So, but like that goes against the argument that he's making, that these charities that are here to cater to the people that are at the bottom, the black people that are at the bottom. Because out of all the charities that were there, only 1% of them even cater to black people. And if you've been reading, if you was here with us the last couple of weeks, so who are these churches? Who are these charities? These are institutions that are created by the black middle class that got aid from the white masters or the white people that was in control of that space, the Quakers. They gave these people that were usually their slaves, like the what they call the mulattoes, half black, half white. The slave master may have slept with someone on the plantation, slept with a slave, and they produced a baby, so they kept them working around the house, and they taught them how to cook, they taught them how to be waiters, they taught them whatever they could, to be a mechanic. Dumb people. Those are the people that now start to build black churches. For those people, the other people like them that were mulatto, that were the house Negroes, they created these institutions to serve them. So now if you have a nonprofit, a church that's giving out stuff, they're giving it to the people that are in their church, that are in their institutions. They're not giving it to the masses of black people, because they used to call the black people that came from down south and ran all the way up to the north, they called them migrants. The black intellectual class in Philadelphia called them migrants. You're going to probably hear Du Bois in this chapter, but they refer to those people as migrants, as uncouth. Like these are the people at the bottom, the people in the projects, the people in the ghettos now. Most of the people in Newark that's making about $30,000 or less, that's the people that he's talking about, that these people are at the bottom. I mean, like, these are the people that's getting help from welfare, and he's gonna go into it, and he's gonna say something like even if the middle class black people like refuse to even go get the charity help, because it's also given to like the poor Negroes like myself, like it's given to them too, and they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be that poorness to rub off on them, to be seen as the other blacks. So they don't go to those spaces to go get it. Just like the welfare. Just like going down to the welfare when there was some Clinton. I don't know where it's at now. But like nobody wanted to go there. If you was living in if you was middle class and you had bread, whatever, and you lost your job, lost your stuff, you didn't want to go in there because it's nothing but fiends, drug, crackheads, and stuff like that. People that are poor, people at the bottom of the food chain. So you don't want to be mingling with people like that. But that's the argument that he's making here, and he's going to continue to make.
Thinking, were to reclaim the fallen or to protect the helpless and the children. Even the agencies of this sort open to the Negroes are not always taken advantage of, partly through ignorance and carelessness, partly because they fear discrimination, or because they are apt to be treated the same, whether they be from ancestry or middle alley.
You hear that? That's what it's talking about. Like they're treated the same no matter what part of the society they're from. So where in Newark, you say somebody from Spires and somebody that live what they call it, the better part of North, the Velsburg area, whatever they call them people up there that live in them homes up there, like they wouldn't want to go down to no welfare because they don't want to be seen with somebody from Spires because like they're looking at themselves like they're better than somebody from Spires. They don't want to be seen. Yo, I'm telling you, yo, we sick. Yo, as a people, we sick. Instead of using all this energy to try to organize on how to liberate ourselves, we hate each other, or we pick this battle lines that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, but let the boys keep talking, man.
Until the benevolence of the whites has been checked, because the classes on whom it has been showered have not appreciated it, and because there has been no careful attempt to discriminate between different sorts of Negroes. After all, the need of the Negro, as of so many unfortunate classes, is not alms, but a friend. There are a few homes, asylums, nurseries, hospitals, and the like to work among Negroes, which are doing excellent work and deserve commendation. It is to be hoped that this sort of work will receive needed encouragement. This problem is, it must be acknowledged, difficult. Its difficulty arises, however, rather from an ignorance of surrounding facts than from the theoretic arguments. Section 49, the intermarriage of the races. For years, much has been said on the
You heard what he said. So this section right here, he's going to go into intermarriages. If anybody has anything to say, they want to talk about what we're hearing. Yo, this is a space where we have a conversation. It's not a dictatorship here. If you hear something that piques your attention, say something. Let's talk about it. But they're talking about intermarriage here. I know a lot of us here got a little bit of something to say about that.
Destiny of the Negro with regard to intermarriage with the whites. To many, it seems the difficulty that differentiates the Negro question from all other social questions which we face and makes it seemingly insoluble. The questions of ignorance, crime, and immorality, these argue, may safely be left to the influence of time and education. But will time and training ever change the obvious fact that the white people of the country do not wish to mingle socially with the Negroes or to join blood in legal wedlock with them? This problem is, it must be acknowledged, difficult.
All right, so right there. So his argument is the racism in America is by and large the people. It is the individual white person. This is why our relationships are the way it is. Why it's going to be hard for us to intermarry, because white people, the individual white person, it is not institutions. You see, like you can disagree with intellectuals. You can read their work because we've had enough time to look back in history, like and our knowledge has grown to where we understand what institutions are, how institutions control people's lives and dictate our reality. So what he's saying is the individual, everything that individual knows derives from the institutions that govern them. So if the institutions are racist and they're white supremacists, that individual, by and large, is going to be racist and whatever else that comes with it. But he's saying here, and he's going to keep making this argument, and I don't want to stop it when he makes it again, because he's going to make the argument that we are free, that black people are free. And since we are citizens, you should be able to marry whoever you want to marry, do whatever you want to do. That's the argument that he's about to make. We're not free. In 1896, when he believed, when he was working within the system, and he was going around telling black people that they were free, we were not free. We're still not free today. We're not free right now. We control nothing in our communities. We control absolutely nothing. We don't control the schools. We don't control the economic centers. We don't control housing. We control nothing. Everything that's in our communities is by and large controlled by corporations. We handle nothing. So we are really what? In today they call it wage slaves. That we are wage slaves now. And we are still not free. So but his argument is because we were free, that black people are free, they should be able to marry whoever they want to marry. And I disagree with that, bro. We were not free then. We are not free now. We don't control our future. We don't control our destiny. We don't control anything.
Its difficulty arises, however, rather from an ignorance of surrounding facts than from the rhetoric arguments. Theory in such case is of little value. The white people, as members of the races now dominant in the world, naturally boast of their blood and accomplishments, and recoil from an alliance with a people which is today represented by a host of untrained and uncouth ex-slaves. On the other hand,
see that? That's us. He's talking about us. When the world look at black people, they look at black people as untrained, uncouth ex-slaves. That's how white people look at us. That's what he's saying, and that's why they don't want to be around us. He's not saying their system that are put in place that kept black people enslaved, that justified black people being slaves, that justified making sure they knew nothing on how to be able to take care of themselves or survive in this world. See, he's not talking about that. He's talking about the individual white person, as if the institution did not create that white person. And if this is how you're thinking, if your whole strategy, your whole philosophy is focused on changing the mind of every individual white person, I can see why we ended up where we are today. That's the mistake. That's the mistake from the beginning. You're not going to change nobody's mind. You're not changing people's mind individually. That's not how none of this works. All of this work by building institutions. Those white people know what they know because of what they learned through schools, what they learned through media, what their mothers taught them, what their fathers taught them. All of that is learned through institution building. It is not the individual white person. Our liberation will never come from white people. That's not how none of this works. And like I said, anybody want to chime in, you can always chime in. You could just cut in and just start talking like when my breath paused, or you could put your hand up.
Okay. Whatever his practice be, the Negro as a free American citizen must just as strenuously maintain that marriage is a private contract and that given two persons of proper age and economic ability who agree to enter into that relation, it does not concern anyone but themselves as to whether one of them be white, black, or red.
And we still move like that. You heard what he just said? I mean, that we're free, that you're able to do whatever you want to do, and it doesn't concern nobody else. Yo, we continue to move that way, individualistic, we're going to get what we got now. Individual people living in the suburbs while they're in the system, being used to exploit the masses of the people. That's what we have now. And that's what he's talking about, that individualistic trait in us. This is what Du Bois was pushing in 1896. The individual. Don't care about what the masses think. Don't care about what the people think. Don't care about the culture. That is what we got now. Everybody's trying to make it. They don't give a damn about nobody else. They don't care about the community. As long as they're making money, everybody else could suffer. It doesn't matter. It's the American way. And this is what these intellectuals was preaching back then. You've heard them say that we were free. They're telling black people that they are free. Even though they couldn't work here, they couldn't work there, they couldn't work there, they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that. They could only live right here, but you're free. This is what they were pushing. And it's by and large what they push today. I be trying not to stop it, but he be spitting bars. The stuff he be talking about, we got to talk about it.
Thus, that theoretical argument comes to an unpleasant standstill, and its further pursuit really settles nothing, nay, rather unsettles much. by bringing men's thoughts to a question that is, at present at least, of little practical importance. For in practice, the matter works itself out. The average white person does not marry a Negro, and the average Negro, despite his theory, himself marries one of his race, and frowns darkly on his fellows unless they do likewise. In those very circles of Negroes who have a large infusion of white blood, where the freedom of marriage is most strenuously advocated, white wives have always been treated with a disdain bordering on insult, and white husbands never received on any terms of social recognition. Notwithstanding theory as a practice of whites and Negroes in general, it is nevertheless manifest that the white and black races have mingled their blood in this country to a vast extent. Such facts puzzle the foreigner and are destined to puzzle the future.
Yo, even that, I don't even like none of that. Have mingled their blood. Hey, yo, when he was reading 1896, by and large, because there are no absolutes in science, but by and large, if you have white blood in you, they raped your family. It wasn't no mingling. We didn't just mingle. They raped your family. That's why you had white blood in them. And he's saying, like, it's a lot of that going on back then in 1896, whatever. We in 2026. And he's saying back then it's a lot of that going on. So you telling me most of the people walking around now, like, these people don't have white blood in them? I mean, I'm talking about all of us that want to do the purity test. He's talking about back then. There was a lot of this going on. I mean, but hey, man.
A historian, a serious student of the subject, gravely declares in one chapter that the races are separate and distinct, and becoming more so, and in another that by reason of the intermingling of white blood, the original type of African has almost completely disappeared. Here we have reflected the prevailing confusion in the popular mind. Race amalgamation is a fact, not a theory. It took place, however, largely under the institution of slavery and for the most part, though not wholly, outside the bonds of legal marriage. With the abolition of slavery now and the establishment of a self-protecting Negro home, the question is, what have been the tendencies and the actual facts with regard to the intermarriage of races? This is the only question with which students have to do, and this singularly enough has been the one which they, with curious unanimity, have neglected. We do not know the facts with regard to the mingling of white and black blood in the past, save in a most general and unsatisfactory way. We do not know the facts for today at all. And yet, of course, without this knowledge, all philosophy of the situation is vague. Only long observation of the course of intermarriage can furnish us that broad knowledge of facts, which can serve as a basis for race theories and final conclusions. The first legal obstacle to the intermarriage of whites and blacks in Pennsylvania was the Act of 1726, which forbade such unions in terms that would seem to indicate that a few such marriages had taken place. Mulattoes early appeared in the state, and especially in Philadelphia, some being from the South and some from up the state. Sailors from this port, in some cases, brought back English, Scotch, and Irish wives, and mixed families immigrated here at the time of the Haitian Revolt. Between 1820 and 1860, many natural children were sent from the South, and in a few cases, their parents followed and were legally married here. Descendants of such children in many cases forsook the mother's race. One became principal of the city school, one a prominent sister in Catholic Church, one a bishop, and one or two officers in the Confederate Army. Some marriages with Quakers took place, one especially in 1825, when a Quakeress married a Negro, created much comment. Descendants of this couple still survive. Since the war, the number of local marriages has considerably increased. In this work, there was originally no intention of treating the subject of intermarriage, for it was thought that the data would be too insignificant to be enlightening. When, however, in one ward of the city, 33 cases of mixed marriages were found, and it was known that there were others in that ward, and probably a similar proportion in many other wards. It was thought that a study of these 33 families might be of interest and be a small contribution of facts to a subject where facts are not easily accessible. The size of these families varies, of course, with the question as to what one considers a family. If we take the census family, or all those living together under circumstances of family life in one home, the average size of the 33 families of the 7th Ward in which there were intermarried whites was 3.5. If we take simply the father, mother, and children, the average size was 2.9. There were 97 parents and children in these families, and 20 other relatives living with them, making 117 individuals in the families. Tabulated, they are as follows. Of the intermarried whites, there are 4 husbands and 29 wives. Let us first consider the family having the 4 white husbands. The third family may be simply a case of cohabitation, and not enough is known of the 4th to make any judgments. The second family lives in a comfortable home and appears contented. The first family is poor, and the man lazy and good-natured. The 29 white wives were of the following ages: 15 to 19, 1, 20 to 24, 7, 25 to 29, 8, 30 to 39, 8, 40 to 49, 3, 50 and over, 1, unknown, 1, for a total of 29 women. They were born as follows: Philadelphia, 6, Ireland, 6, England, 3, Scotland, 2, New York, 2, Germany, 2, Canada, 1, Hungary, 1, Virginia, 1, Maryland, 1, Delaware, 1, unknown, 3, for a total of 29 different locations worldwide. By rearranging this table, we have for the known cases: born in Philadelphia, 6, the United States, 11, North, 8, South, 3, foreign lands, 15. Those not born in Philadelphia have resided there as follows: less than 1 year, 1, 1 to 3 years, 1, 5 to 10 years, 3, over 10 years, 8, unknown, 10. Born in Philadelphia, 6. These wives are occupied as follows: housewives, 18, and days work, 3. Waitresses, 2. No occupation or unknown, 3. Cook, 1. Merchant, 1. Servant, 1. Only one of these women was reported as illiterate, and in the case of 3, no return was made as to illiteracy. 14 of these wives had no children by this marriage. 6 had 1 child. 6 had 2 children. 3 had 3 children, making 27 children in all. Of the 14 having no children, 5 were women under 25, recently married. 2 were women over 40 and probably past childbearing. Several of the remaining 7 were, in all probability, new. Of the colored husbands of these white wives, we have the following statistics: age, 20 to 24, 2, 25 to 29, 5, 30 to 39, 12, 40 to 49, 7, 50 and over, 1, unknown, 2. Birthplace, Philadelphia, 5, Maryland, 5, Virginia, 5, District of Columbia, 3, Delaware, 2, Kentucky, 1, New Jersey, 1, Texas, 1, North Carolina, 1, Massachusetts 1, Alabama 1, New York 1, unknown 2. Born in Philadelphia 5, North 8, South 19. Illiteracy, can read and write 23. Illiterate 4, unknown 2. Occupations, waiter 9, porter 3, barber 2, steward 2, cook 2, restaurant keeper 2, helper and engineer 1, baker and merchant 1.
Let me stop this for a second. So these are the black men that were married to the white women. Literacy, can read and write 23. Illiterate 4, unknown 2. It adds up to 29. Yo, what do you think the average black person in that time? Did you think they were literate? The average black person at that time in 1896. Yo, out of this right here, 23 out of 29, whoever know math, you know the percentage of that. But like, that's crazy. The people that could read, so if they could read, that means they had education. They were formally educated. And most of the time, if they're formally educated, they came from where? They came from master house. These were the people that were inside the house with master. These are the ones that are choosing to marry these white women, the ones that could marry them. And look at the jobs they had. And these are the jobs that were open to those kind of black people. They wasn't open to all black people. If you didn't grew up in them spaces where to be able to learn how to be a waiter, to be a porter, to be a barber, to do all these things. So these were the jobs that were open to the Negro back then. All the Negroes didn't have access to all the jobs, to all the industries. So when I hear people like Du Bois, when I hear them saying free, that they were free, and that they could do this, the ones that didn't do this, they were lazy. Like, I can't even grasp it. I can't even grasp what he's saying, that they were free if this were all they could do. Just like now. What did Obama call it? Service jobs. Those are the jobs that they said Obama invented. Like, service jobs wasn't here. They were never here until Obama came, I think in 2012 or whatever, and they came up with all these jobs where you're a waiter. You're basically serving people. That's what your job is. They call them service job. You're cleaning somebody's doo-doo. You're working in somewhere where you got to clean old people. I mean, you're working in one of these stores. You're serving people. There's no real, like, you're not allowed in the real industry. This is what they have opened up. Servants. Slaves by another name. That's what is open to you.
Stationary engineer 1, laborer 1, stevedore 1, caterer 1, messenger 1, bootblack 1, unknown 1. The social grade of 32 of these families is thought to be as follows. First grade, 4 families. These all live well and are comfortable. The wife stays at home and the children at school. Everything indicates comfort and contentment.
That's the first group. That's the rich group out of it. I mean, it's 4 of them out of them families that they had. A general secretary, how many families was it all together? About 30?
Yes.
So 4 of them.
Yeah.
You about to say something?
I think 33.
All right, but 33. But be that as it may, 23 out of those 23 husbands out of those families, 23 of those black men could read. These were not the worst of the black people there. I will argue this were like the most educated and intellectual one in that community. What did they do? They chose to marry white. That's what they were attracted to. They were attracted to marry white women, because they wanted to be white. They wanted to be like their masters, and this is what they gravitated to. I mean, so it wasn't the worst. And who were the women that they married? I think they said only one of them could read. Only one of them was literate out of the women that they chose to marry. So the best out of the black, well, whatever, the blacks, whatever you want to call them back then, however they want to qualify them, or the Negroes, the Negro, the best out of them married white. And these are the people that control the churches, that control all these institutions that they said gave out stuff to the people, to the mass of the people, which they really didn't. They only gave out all these resources to the people that belong to their class, their churches.
Second grade, 15 families. These are ordinary working class families. The wife in some cases helps as a breadwinner. None of them are in poverty. Many are young couples just starting in married life. All are decent and respectable. Third grade, 6 families. These are poor families of low grade, but not immoral. Some are lazy, some unfortunate.
So they're lazy and some unfortunate. Even though they live in a system of white supremacy, of racism, all this stuff, where they could only live here, they could only... These contradictions. Like, it's crazy because I know Du Bois matured from this. I mean, Du Bois, he finally got tired of it and he left the country. I understand all of that. But reading this, reading this Du Bois, and then hearing my whole life how the Philadelphia Negro is one of the greatest books ever written about black. This is not, what I'm getting from him is not really like black history. Like, I gotta see the history by looking around the corner. If I'm just going off what he's telling me, I'll be miseducated. Because look what he said with a good family. Well, look what he just said about that family. These are the people that were making sure they were offensive linemen for white supremacy, telling other black people that we are free. You're suffering. Everything that you're dealing with is because you're lazy. You're shifty. You have no motivation. This is what they were telling other black people back then, telling them that we are free, that the reason why you're going through what you're going through is because of you. We still hear that now. That's how they talk to people in the ghettos now, in the hood now. People that live in this project, that's how they talk to them. People that live on this number blocks. It's your fault. It's not the school that ain't never educate you, the institution that we're all paying taxes for. It's not them that they didn't educate you. It's not the fact that there are no jobs out here for you to be able to pay you enough for you to be able to pay rent. It's none of that. Go get 3 jobs. Go work for Uber and Lyft at the same time. This is the type of stuff that this class of people still push. The Democrats, the Republicans, the institutionalized black folks. These are the ideas that they're still pushing in our communities. But anybody can, if you disagree, chime in.
Fourth grade, 7 families. Many of these are cases of permanent cohabitation, and the women, for the most part, are or were prostitutes. They live in the slums mostly, and in some cases have lived together many years. None of them have children, or at least have none living with them at present. Let us now glance a moment at the 31 children of these mixed marriages, 27 born of white mothers by Negro husbands, and 4 of Negro mothers by white husbands. Age, under 1 year, male.
What was that, 24 to how many? Let us glance at 31 children of this mixed marriage. 27 born of white mothers, 27 born of white mothers by Negro husbands, and 4 of Negro mothers by white husbands. Like, you see the numbers, you see the disparity there? Do you see the disparity there? Do you see the disparity there?
Welfare won't come out to another 3-4 decades. These white women was getting welfare from black men, from the quote unquote talented 10. These uneducated, illiterate white women was getting their welfare from uppity Negroes.
Yeah. 27 to 4. These are the intermarriages. When they talk about intermarriage, like, this is it right here. Black men that won their white women. That's what it was, really. Because to them, whiteness was right. Blackness is wrong. I mean, and Du Bois co-signed this behavior. How are you not free? But he doesn't say we're not free. He says we are free. In 1896, Du Bois said black people were free. They had freedom. Even though they couldn't work here, they couldn't do that, they couldn't do nothing. We think like the racism is real now with the police. Just imagine back then. But these intellectuals, these black intellectuals from a whole different class, a different species of Negroes, The ones that wanted to go chase down and be with white women. They're telling us we're free. They're telling us.
I think mostly they understood the generational curse of blackness. And instead of like fight against the system, they wanted their children to be able to pass the paper bag test. You know, like they didn't want their children to have to go through what they went through. But one other thing, when I think about like the educated Negro back then, right, how people try to differentiate and make them seem like, oh, they just made better choices. When you read Booker T. Washington's book, I think it's his autobiography. He talks about this like wool shirt that the slaves used to have to wear, and he was like one of the youngest. He was like one of the youngest of his mom's children. She had some children with a black man, and she had some children with the slave master. He was one of the youngest of the children with the slave master. And one of his brothers used to break this wool shirt in for him because they said when you first put it on, it itches and stuff like this. And when there was a really hard task, his brothers used to do the really hard task, right? The point is that a lot of people who was able to go on and get education, it was other people, field Negroes, that sacrificed for them, right? And that's still today. A lot of people that's able to go on and get these high positions and get education. I had a buddy, right? He was in the streets. He made a lot of money, and he made sure his younger brother didn't have to do anything, never needed for anything, never wanted for anything, just go to school, hit the book. So we still see this cycle in our community today. So, like, keep that in mind when you're talking about these Negroes back then that had access to education that other people didn't have, right? The level of, just you know, it was all intercommunal. So for them to go take that education and don't use it to uplift, but run off and try to run away with it into whiteness, into the white community, into like those who was oppressing you, that's extremely diabolical. You take all the sacrifices that was given for you to get uplift and you leave with it.
Nah, you're 100% correct. And that's the mentality of the trader, of the sellout, that I'm going to take self-preservation. Let me take care of myself. Let me take care of my family. To hell with everybody else. Get it like how I got it. I mean, and that's, you hit it right on the button. People, even in our communities, in the hood, they sacrifice. Mothers, I work with children. I do child care for these parents. These parents, they have like 2-3 jobs. They leave before the child goes to school, and they get home when the child is going to sleep. They sacrifice their lives to put these children through these schools. And when these children go in these schools, they're brainwashed to turn around and hate those parents, those family members that sacrifice their lives for them to go to these Ivy League schools, for them to go to these HBCUs or whatever. There was something on Facebook this week. It was going around and it was making my stomach turn. I think it's one of the charter schools, and they were teaching them like money management, however they do it. And the kids came up with the term, no brokies. I saw it on Facebook. People posting this, no brokies. Children in the hood that live around poverty. Everybody around them is brokies. We all brokies. We can't afford to live around here. We can afford food. And they're learning terms like no brokies. So who's the brokie? Your mother that's working 2-3 jobs to be able to afford them sneakers and clothes for you to go to school, that people don't laugh at you, that works all day, can't even rest, just get up the next day and do it all over again, that's not secure in housing, in nothing, like they're living paycheck to paycheck. That's what you call them brokey? That's what they're teaching them in these classes. This is in North Public Schools. They're teaching them. Who page was it on? It was on somebody's page. Like they work for the city, and they're promoting this. They're posting on their social media page, and you see it right there. I think the 5th, 6th graders, whatever, talking about the new term that they coined, no brokey. So they're teaching them to look at their condition and their reality as if it is their fault. It is the decision that they made. Comrade Cam, go ahead, comrade.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
I noticed too when we talk about, when we look at these statistics, how patriarchal it is. They continue to talk about, if you looked at some of the statistics, some of the wives are 15 years old. They don't have any jobs. It's almost like they have no choice, it looks like. And often when we read books from this time, I'm reading it from a man's perspective, from a man's mind. And I'm thinking, especially for black women, how we have been blamed for being the single mother, for being for being a brokey, like you said, instead of looking at how we're able to survive, looking at all the skills that we have been able to acquire by ourselves, by our own hard work, and looking at that as some sort of leadership path or some sort of indication of being a leader, being able to manage a household, being able to manage a situation, take a situation that's difficult and make it work, and then produce children, produce a next generation of people who are educated, who read, try our best. When we're able to do that, we're not called leaders, we're called nurturers, and we're still brought down to this level that takes away our power, our ability to be seen as equals.
All power to the people. Nah, you're 100% correct. And I ain't even got to go far to think about it. My own mother. I remember growing up, my own mother, she made $7 and some change on J Street. She made $7 and I think like 50 cents or something, $7, $8. She made an hour. And she worked on J Street at that nursing home. I remember. I used to go to, from when I left school from Sussex Avenue, I had to walk there and do my homework and wait till my stepfather came and picked me up. Because my mother worked from 7 in the morning until 11 at night. I think that's 16 hours. She worked a double shift because she only made like $7. So her children, us, that she left at home. And where did she leave us? I don't know how my mother did it. My mother didn't graduate high school. She grew up in Africa. She came to America. She worked those 2 shifts and was able to get a house. Like she explained to before, like they had a deal where like first-time home buyers could go somewhere like for them to go get houses. These were all the loans that they were giving to people that they knew couldn't afford it for them to come back and take their homes later. But while I was little, going to school, me, my little brother, she had all these kids, had kids in Africa that couldn't come over here. And she worked all them jobs to be able to take care of us, for us to go to school. She worked 16 hours. I didn't see her. I remember like on the weekends she used to come like combing our hair for us to go to church. Like all this stuff I didn't think about back then. Being able to afford a house on Stuyvesant and 18th Avenue, right there Valley Street by the post office. That's where I grew up at. That's where I lived at, in a one-family house that single mother provided for us. But how? How did she do it? She had to make ends meet. All the sacrifice that she must have made, all the sleep sacrifice she must have made that I didn't know about. She never made me aware about none of that. All she kept telling us was to go to school, for us to make sure we go to college, for us to make sure we get up out the hood, because this is all she knew. And then we go to school. Most of the kids that live around and go to school, graduate. Most of them don't graduate. The majority of them ended up in the street, like in the hood. Like, you can't just lie. In the hood, most people did not make it out the hood. Like, that's not how it went. The ones that actually survived and made it out, they never wanted to come back. So they tried to blend in and assimilate into the larger society. So if it was miseducating our children, they're not going to riot or do anything to mess up their own paychecks. Whatever they were doing to the community that was affecting their own parents, their own families, they're not doing nothing about it because they've made it out. Despite all the sacrifices that the people in the community made to get them where they at. They're not coming to help the people. They didn't want to become the council people. They sit on the school boards. Go back and look at the records of the schools for the last 60 years. It is these children from our communities that sits in those spaces, making those decisions. Making those decisions to help corporations that have decimated our communities. Can't nobody say in North, can't no intellectual in North tell me these public schools have done anything good for the kids in our community. I'm talking about as a whole. I'm not talking about one kid here, one kid there. I'm talking about as a whole. If you went and got all the kids that went to school for the last 60 years in North New Jersey, and you put all those numbers here, and you say how many became successful, the grade, whatever answer you get from there, that's the grade that the school system get. And I'm going to tell you, without having all of that stuff in front of me, I'm going to tell you the school system failed woefully. The superintendents, the school board, the teachers, everybody failed the community. This is not my opinion. That's after you look at the whole data. Let me finish with this because we got a lot to talk about.
3.
It's almost done.
Year, male 2, female 3. 3 to 5 years, male 4, female 3. 6 to 10 years, male 3, female 5. 11 to 15 years, male 3, female 1. 16 to 19 years, male 2, female 0. 20 to 29 years, male 2, female 0. Of school age, 5 to 20 years, 14. Number in school, 12. Number over 10 who are illiterate, 0. At work, 1. At order. The homes occupied by these families and the rents paid monthly are. The data here presented constitutes too narrow a basis for many general conclusions, even for a single city. Of the 2,441 families in the ward, these families represent 1.35%. There are 2 or more other cases in the 7th ward not cataloged. If this percentage holds good in the remaining parts of the city,
Hey, yo, like you just said, oh, Jesus. Like you just said, the families that 1 point something percentage, whatever. That's the amount of families that that were interracial marriages. I'm saying, but he still chose to speak of it. But out of that 1.3 or whatever he said, the majority of those people came from Massa House. Because he said all the people that were living in Philly at that time, there was only like 1 point something percent of them that participated in whatever, in that behavior, marriage and crossbreed, whatever they want to call it. It was only 1% that participated in it. And that 1% that participated in it were frowned upon by the masses of the people, masses of black folks, because they all still looked at it like, how are you with them? And these are the people that's enslaving us. That makes sense to me. I can understand that. I can understand not being able to work in none of this industry. I'm being called the N-word, whatever. They treating me like I'm a second-class citizen, and you're running around with the people that are supposed to be doing it. That look weird to me. Like, what y'all got in common?
At all in the above record, as they favor more of prostitution than of marriage. On the other hand, it is an error, certainly in this war, to regard marriages of this sort as confined principally to the lower classes. On the contrary, they take place most frequently in the laboring classes, and especially among servants.
See, that's not happening in the lower classes. Hey, yo, poor black men are not marrying middle class or rich white women, especially back then. Rich white women are not marrying poor black men back then. It's the other way around. The best in the community amongst us is the one that's marrying down because they're just white. You just want a white woman. You just want to go get your white woman. So you go get your white woman that doesn't know how to read, even though you know how to read. You could read in 3-4 different languages. But since you want your white woman to go around and show the other Negroes, like, look, I got me a white woman. So you go marry the white woman. And like he said, it wasn't the lower classes. The lower classes wasn't partaking in it.
Where there is the most contact between the races. Among the best class of Negroes and whites, such marriages seldom occur, although one knows.
You heard what he said? Among the best of the whites. such marriages rarely occur. Like, it's not happening. It's not happening, man.
The case occurred in 1897 in Philadelphia, where there could be no question of the good social standing of the parties. As to the tendencies of the present and the general result of such marriages, there are no reliable data. That more separations occur in such marriages than in others is very probable. It is certainly a strain on the section to have to endure not simply the social ostracism of the whites, but of the blacks also. Undoubtedly, this latter acts as a more practical deterrent than the first. For, while a Negro expects to be ostracized by the whites, and his white wife agrees to it by her marriage vows, neither of them are quite prepared for the cold reception they invariably meet with among the Negroes.
Because they're ignorant. How could you not know? What do you mean you don't know? Because you act like we are free. Because you've been in Massa house the whole time, you thinking like the values that you have for Massa is the same values that we have on the plantation. That's why you can't understand why we're looking at you like you wild.
This is the consideration that makes the sacrifice in such marriages great, and makes it perfectly proper to give the aphoristic marriage advice of punch to those contemplating such alliances. Nevertheless, one must painfully acknowledge that there are respectable people who are thus married and are apparently contented and as happy as the average of mankind. It is difficult to see whose concern their choice is but their own, or why the world should see fit to insult or slander them.
That's what he's saying about mixed marriage.
Chairman,
Yeah.
did he have a white wife?
I don't think so. I don't think think he had a white wife. I don't remember him having a white wife. I mean, but like that's something easy that somebody could Google real quick. I mean, but I don't think he had a white wife. But he was half white though. He had white in him though. I mean, Du Bois' wife, Du Bois' wives. I think he had a couple. Nina Gomer, first to Nina Gomer, Du Bois, and later playwright, author, activist Shirley Graham Du Bois. Yo, look up Shirley Graham Du Bois and look up Nina Gomer. Like I see a black and white picture, but I can't really tell if she. Now she look like she black, real light skin, probably mixed suit. But be that as it may, I mean, but yeah, but it's his whole ideology is from this book at least is from a class perspective, and this is how these people in this class, these black people in this class, this is how they see our reality, our condition, as them getting proximity to white supremacy. I mean, but who got somebody got their hand up still? I mean, look, if we talk about conditions in our community right now, we complain about anything. The quick solution, the quick thing people will tell you is to go out and go vote, to go put people in positions of power. Once you go out and go vote and you go put these people in power, they're going to change our reality. I want you to listen to Ali Velshi real quick. Yo, Ali Velshi been coming up since I did the interview with him. So my algorithm got Ali Velshi on it all over the place. But I was listening to something else. I was doing something else, and this came on in the background. And I just started smirking when I heard it. But listen to this.
Tax breaks and other incentives, and city councils that approve these projects against the wishes of their constituents. Take Festus, which is in Jefferson County, Missouri, a town of about 13,000 just south of St. Louis. In late March, its city council voted 6-2 to approve a $6 billion data center, even as residents packed the chamber to object, warning about water, electricity, and the value of their homes. Key details like who would even operate the facility were still unclear. The deal went through anyway. So the residents did something about it. Days later, they voted out every single council member who was up for re-election for them.
You heard that? They voted out every single council member that was for it. because they wasn't for it. These are data centers. They're going around putting data centers in all different communities, and the people in those communities are saying we don't want them. They take up too much resources. So we don't want these data centers in our communities. AI-ish. We don't want them in our communities. And these politicians are doing whatever they want to do. So they said, you know what? We're going to vote them all out. They voted them all out. What you think happened?
Of them. God, poof. One 8-year incumbent lost by more than 40 points. Every one of their challengers had run on transparency in opposition to the data center. Turnout for the municipal election more than doubled, and when that still wasn't enough to stop the project, a residents group called Wake Up.
Hey, not only did they show up and get rid of these people, the turnout doubled. Right now in our communities, the politicians are crying. The people that's running for office are always crying like, people not coming out to vote. You're not coming out to vote. You're not coming out to vote. They told you in this community, they not only did they come out, they removed all 4 of them. Not only did they remove all 4 of them, they doubled the amount of voters that usually come out. And at the end of the day, what happened? They still went along and did what they were going to do anyway, because those politicians work for the corporations. See, that's why, by and large, we really don't support the electoral process. Because at the end of the day, the corporations still win. The people get nothing. I was writing something, I was doing something else, and this came up in the background while I was writing. I'm like, but people still not going to listen to this. After he finished this, his next segment is probably going to tell people to go out and vote for Democrats. That's how all of this works. Even though he could read you the report from Stanford that was done in 2014, that America is not a democracy no more. America, it never been a democracy. But that America is not a democracy, America is an oligarchy, which means our voting is pointless. Even though he knows that study, he would still sit here and tell you to go vote, to go find a candidate to support, because that maintains the status quo for them. So what we've been dealing with in North, we've been dealing with the issue at Delaney Hall. And all of this connects. All of this connects from what we heard from Du Bois, from even everything that he's saying, because he's assuming, everything he's saying right here is assuming that we are all citizens, that there's a democracy, that our votes matter. That is what he's assuming. And I don't even think he's assuming. I think he knows by now that our votes don't mean shit, that we live in a corporate oligarchy. He knows that. But he'll tell you the next minute, next breath, we should go vote for somebody. But anyway, this is democracy now. We about to get into Delaney Hall. I'm gonna let her explain what's been going on, because this is what I really wanted to talk about today. Let me see. Yeah. Hey, General Secretary.
Yeah.
Yeah, your girl Sheila gone. She probably wouldn't wait that long for where we was going. I mean, she probably took too long to get here. But
I think also the whole electoral policy thing too may not have been her cup of tea.
Did she just leave?
Yeah, she was leaving during the electoral. Oh, she's coming back. Thank you. She's coming back.
Yeah, because I'm about to go into. There we go. All power to the. Hey, how you doing there, Sheila? If you could unmute yourself and say something. Now, because we about to go into talking about Delaney Hall, and I wanted you to be here because I don't want to be talking about nobody. The videos that we have, the conversation we having, is about what people in the community have been saying, especially those that ran for office. I mean, so I was hoping that you would be here. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm talking about. You there, Sheila?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hi, I'm not sure if you were talking to me, but I had kind of got kicked off by accident, and I just got back on.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about you. I was cursing you out just now, talking about, look, you done left. Sav, nah.
It's sad.
Sav, nah. But what's been going on in Delaney Hall? There's something going on there that's not really spoken about, that's not really talked about. Do you want to give us your analysis on what's going on there, or do you want me to play these videos first?
Either or, whichever one. You can play the videos first, and I'll give you commentary on them. It's fine.
Yeah, because Amy Goodman is going to give her a synopsis of what she thinks has been going on there. Then Bob Henley from WBAI is going to speak. and they're basically going to be saying the same thing, talking about what the media's been saying. So if I'll play it, then you could chime in after that. I'll play it first.
Okay.
We begin today's show in New Jersey, as today marks 11 days since an estimated 300 immigrants detained at the Delaney Hall Newark ICE jail began a hunger and labor strike demanding their immediate release. Protesters and organizers continued to gather near the massive jail over the weekend after New Jersey State Police imposed a barricade about a half-mile long around Delaney's perimeter. Activists denounced New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill for deploying state police with officers in riot gear reportedly beating up protesters. Newark Mayor Ras Baraka has imposed a nightly curfew around Delaney Hall until further notice. There were reports of more arrests Sunday night as some protesters defied the curfew. Mayor Baraka's announcement Sunday came after another weekend of clashes between protesters and law enforcement. Democracy Now!'s Maria Terracena was on the ground and spoke to several people. This is Sally Pillay, a mutual aid advocate with Eyes on Ice, New Jersey. She described the chaotic scene as state police swarmed the protest outside Delaney Hall Saturday night.
There was no announcement. There was nothing. It just came. There was an escalation of police with shields, mounted horses, flashbangs, tear gas, smoke bombs. That was just one after the other, and there was just no sense of safeness that people in the crowd felt. We do mutual aid and support for the families. We had nothing to do with the protests that were going on, but the way the state police moved and the local police moved against the crowd on the north side coming down Doremus Avenue, it started to shove the crowd towards the white mutual aid tent. And so we felt very trapped, and then the smoke was coming in, and so we had to escape.
Meanwhile, union workers led a picket line near Delaney Hall Sunday afternoon, demanding the ICE jail be shut down. For more on the latest, we're joined by Bob Henley. He's the award-winning investigative journalist, general manager of WBAI Pacifica Radio in New York, also host of What's Going On, Labor Monday, and has been covering the protests at Delaney Hall. His new piece for Salon is titled Escalating Tensions at Newark Migrant Prison Draws Ire of Lawmakers. Bob, if you can go through the weekend with the New Jersey governor, who actually has called for Delaney Hall to be shut down, calling out New Jersey state troopers, and take us through the weekend, right through the state of emergency that the Newark mayor has now imposed.
Keep going, Sheila, or you want to say something?
No, I'm here.
keep going. Keep letting the video go.
Yeah, I'm just going to let you, ask, what it is specifically you want me to comment on, because I could go on for days, and I don't want to, go. But, yeah, can you keep it going?
All right, so from what she described just now, she's basically saying that immigrants are being grabbed off the streets. I don't like using that word, but be that as it may, that they're being grabbed off the streets and they're put in there. They're not feeding them the right food. They're not, they're basically abusing their rights. That's what she's saying. And I don't think that's how you see it. Is that how you see it?
Well, no, I don't see it like that, because just from a factual standpoint, I have not seen any receipts that lend to that. But what I have seen is a repetition of Democrats pushing an agenda, if you will, in this particular case, because, given the circumstances, either party is, guilty of pushing an agenda. But in this particular case, they're pushing this agenda, making this an issue, when the fact of the matter is the majority of Newarkers, this is not an issue for the voter or for the native Newarker. It's not an issue. If you had to pick the top 3 to 5 issues, it would not be one. Native Newarkers or people from Newark, period, are more concerned with, if you're talking about, detainees, what's going on with the Green Monster. People are more concerned about that. People are also concerned about the increasing levels of homelessness The rent is a third thing that people are, increasingly concerned about. The data centers, even with the resources of water and the spiraling, well, not spiraling, the rising PSE&G bills that we're enduring. Like, there's so many issues that everybody is just looking like, you got to be kidding me. And I think the receipt of that is only 90% of the people, or the registered voters, should I say, not participating in the most recent election.
Okay, so I went down there, and matter of fact, let me go back a little bit. Let me go back in time. Last year, Ras Baraka went over there, and what's her name, MacGyver, and
Right.
we all seen them go over there, and we basically understood that what they did was like political showmanship, game and shit. They're trying to use it.
Cosplay.
Yeah, they're trying to get cosplaying. Yeah, they're trying to use it to get their names out in the media.
So everything is about the performance, right? And people see that. They have been able to historically push narratives because media, for the foreign most, have propelled that. But now, with the obvious rise in terms of information and media with AI and other sources similar, the knowledge base is pretty balanced in terms of who's doing what. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of information going out, but you can't drive a one stance of government anymore. Like, at the end of the day, it's the Democrats, it's the Republicans, and everything else in between. And what they do in Newark, even when they get with organizations such as the NAACP, et cetera, they're always pushing, even when they claim to be educating politically to the masses, they're just pushing the Democrats, the Democratic agenda. They're not saying that you have other choices. They're not talking about what one means other than the other. They're not doing it in the public, and they're not doing it in the schools. And the receipt of that is the fact that people can come to the schools to vote, but they can't go to the school to learn who's running in their area for anything. And that's where the imbalance comes from. And that's where AI, things like AI, and I'm going to say, just one example, a specific example, TikTok. TikTok was given a lot of information that was really, teaching people, hey, wait, it's more to this, in terms of political IQ, especially for a lot of the people who work hard every day or just not paying attention. And I think that was why it was so important to, take over TikTok, here in the country. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but so many things are relevant. Sometimes I find it hard.
It's really not a tangent, because there's a lot going on that if you're really not paying attention, you're not going to see it. Like, these two people that's in front of my screen, Amy Goodman and the general manager for WBAI, these people are playing Democratic game too. They're part of the whole show too. So like, when we said Ras Baraka went over there, that's when I started noticing this dude right here. What is his name? I keep forgetting his name because I don't like him. Like, I can't even retain his name. But he started, like, I started seeing Larry Hammond. I started going on WBAI. He started talking to Larry Hammond. I'm talking about the issues in the community. But the issues in the community that they were talking about had nothing to do with the things you're talking about. North residents are complaining about housing, about food, about all the issues that the local residents in North are complaining about. That's not what they talk about on Democracy Now! or Bob Henley talk about. When I played this video, she asked him a question about what happened the prior night at Delaney Hall. He took this opportunity to go talk about Ras Baraka, his family, how all these people are heroes in the community fighting for immigrant rights. Not one person, not one person has been released out that immigration detention center since Ras Baraka went over there. Ras Baraka, MacGyver, all their spectacles that they have created has freed not one person over there. The people that actually were the cause for people being freed out of there, because let me go to the people that have been freed. Let me see. Let me go to right here. The funny part, I chose this video. I put this on my story. This is somebody that was released out of there. That, according to the claims that even the government officials are putting out, most of the people that are in there committed no crimes. These people went to court. They were going to court. They were taking their kids to school. They were going out to work, and they grabbed them and threw them in there. And they were saying they've been saying all this month, since last year, since Ross Baraka went over there. They've been saying everybody that was in there deserved to be in there. That these people were criminals, were this. So now they're letting people out because the protest been going on. People been doing whatever they've been doing out there. They let this woman out. And the reason why I chose this clip is look at the people that are looking at my story. The first person is Chairman Paul of the Black Panther Party out in Philly. The next person is Ibrahim Tanner. Ibrahim was the first person that spoke here just now. The third person is my mother. The fourth person is my son's basketball coach when he was in high school. And this fifth person right here, I went to Alexander and Velsburg Middle with them. The whole purpose of putting this stuff out is for the community to see. The people that I know are not getting this information to see. When I go over there, this is what I see. I see people that they would look. There's somebody else. He's in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair with crutches. They're saying the people that were in there were all criminals. So in the last couple of days, they've had to let a high school student go. Is that video on here with the high school student, General Secretary? Okay, I don't have that video yet. But they have to let all these people go. So when I went over there, my thing was, I need to go see what's going on over there, because as Panthers, we're supposed to fight for everybody. We fight for the people in the community, the people that are being exploited. And when I saw what was going on over there, I said, let me go over there and find out. And then when I started speaking to these people, when I started seeing what was going on around there, I understood, it's real over here, that they really do have people in there that are supposed to be home. And then I remembered I was just down at the county. I was locked up in the county, and I've been in the county. I've been getting locked up since I was like 18, 19. I was going in and out the county. They had us sleeping on the floor. They had us eat the same food that they talk about they eating at Delaney Hall. They had us eating the same food. You're not going to court. Even when I got locked up like 2 weeks ago, and they came to my house and they took me there because I was protesting against Delaney Hall, the protest company. When I got there, I had to sleep on the floor. I had to sleep in the floor in a cell that was cold, and the lights beaming. This is in the county. The lights beaming down on you. Nobody, not a single soul in the county has been convicted of anything. These people are there because they're going through the system. That meant to be adjudicated. So they're not guilty yet. But when you go inside that county, I would defy, anybody that goes in there and tells me that those people are not being tortured, it's a liar. Because I've been in there my whole life. But there are no protesters in front of, in front of the county. And I could say black people don't care, but why am I not there? The reason why we're not there as Panthers is because all our energy is in building the institutions and maintaining the institutions in our community. But that doesn't mean I or we wouldn't support people going down to the county doing the same thing that they're doing down at the ICE facility, because that brings attention. Imagine, when I was locked up in the county, and you don't know if you're going home, you're watching the government lie, you're watching them push back dates, you lose your job, you lose your family, you lose your home. This is what's going on to people right now that have not been convicted. When we're watching all of that go on, and we have hunger strikes. I remember in Hudson County in, 2005, I was in Hudson County. The food was so bad. And remember, we're citizens. The food was so bad. We had we said we didn't want the food no more. So we sent the food back. We told everybody that was there, probably like 100 and some people on the tier, nobody's taking that food. So those of us that got commissary, we went inside our commissary bag and we took our soups and we gave it to the other people that was there. That didn't mean we didn't have a hunger strike, because a soup, eating 3 soups a day, I'm not a doctor, but I know that's not healthy for anybody, or that's not what people should be eating. But that's what we did, and nobody came outside to protest for us. So when I go to this protest and I see people that care about this issue coming out to go stand between them and ICE, stand in front, blocking the entrance to going in there. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. You see, I I don't even want to say it because I want to be in solidarity with them. But strategically, I myself, I don't know if I will put people in front of those gates to be trying to stop them from getting in there, because they could run somebody over. They don't care. They're most likely going to walk. I'm not saying I agree with them with their strategy. I'm just saying them dying is not going to change what's going on in Delaney Hall. That's what I would say. I would be like, me risking a Panther, a family member, myself, to go stand right here so a car can come out of there and hit me. That's not going to close Delaney Hall. What's going to close Delaney Hall is by us organizing to build institutions to make sure people don't go inside Delaney Hall, that we protect these people in the community before ICE comes and grab them. I would rather do that than go risk somebody's life. But to say I don't agree with them out there protesting for these people to at least be given their chance in court, I can't do that. And I saw a lot of stuff on social media that was basically like saying that. Like, let me see right here. This one right here.
But the game I said for it, I was peacefully protesting. Did I get my George Soros check? At 12 stand up.
Like, yeah, I saw that on your page, and when I saw that, I'm like, come on, we know he's joking. Like, he doesn't work for George Soros. But this was the kind of stuff, propaganda that was being pushed out there to say this rioters are getting paid by George Soros, are getting paid by these politicians. Yo, Ras Baraka can't be paying them because he's using the state government, he's using the local police to brutalize these people. So I don't believe he's paying them. What Ras Baraka really support is that tent, Eyes on Ice, because they are a nonprofit. You see, they sit out in those tents, and when people come out, they try to help them with where they're gonna go. They need food, they need something to drink. They give them stuff like that. But they themselves, and I don't want to say it because I know they're gonna feel some type of way about me for what I'm about to say. But they themselves, by them having that tent out there, it's not going to free them people out of there. I mean, that tent is just there like charity. It's basically charity, and charity maintains the status quo. I mean, so those people, they separating themselves, because you heard that young lady just say just now when I played the video that those people have been there in those tents, and they're not with the protesters that are standing out there demanding attention be brought to what's going on in there. I mean, and I can't sit here and say, you know what, all those people should go home. They shouldn't be out there protesting. If they're not out there, then who's going to know what's going on? Who's going to know that they got people in there, they're not feeding them? They're just grabbing people off the streets. These people going to court, who's going to know? Who's going to fight for them? I mean, and that's the only thing that I really wanted to talk about, because, like, I didn't get it. You there, Sheila?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. So I hear you, right? But it's a lot of moving pieces to this, right? And so I think one place we got to start, from is just looking at the situation as a whole, just Delaney Hall, period, right? This is no longer a local issue. It's no longer a local issue. This is a national issue, and all eyes are on Newark and this issue. I am in agreement with what you said, that the mayor is probably definitely not the one financing this. As far as the guy saying something about George Soros, could have been a joke, could not have been a joke. I mean, Antifa, we've heard about before, right? Before this situation. George Soros,
what does Antifa stand for?
Well, I don't know what the acronym stands for, but just like, for example, like all the people we have at Delaney Hall, those people don't even live in Newark?
Nah, anti-fascist. Yeah, I know. Antifa means anti-fascism. They stand against people like Trump. But
but wait. Well, if you're gonna cut me off, let me know. Because
no. I'm not cutting you off.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, but thank you for that clarity. But regardless, like whoever they're paying, whether it's the anti-fascism or anti-whatever, they're paid actors, and we're talking about a performance. And what we want to look at is what is the outcome of this benefiting? Who is it benefiting? Who is doing the watching? Who's allowing for it? Because clearly we could tell that the mayor doesn't have control of the situation. Because if he did, when he first went there, he wouldn't have been arrested. I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure that we probably could be in agreement on that. So that lends us the question: who is the people who are pushing this? And
we're not in agreement with that. I think he wanted to get arrested. I think he wanted to. Yeah,
but we know that he's not. I mean, let's say that he did, and that looked good for the campaign or whatever you made. I can't argue that. But what I am saying that more than likely, in my opinion, that he probably didn't anticipate getting arrested. That he's probably not in control of the situation now, but I don't know. I remember hearing him. I don't know if you guys saw that clip. There was a clip that went out not too long ago where he said publicly it's about 6 or 7 people in charge of Newark. Did you ever see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was a clip that went out that I saw that he was in some interview and he actually said that out loud. And you could clearly tell, right? I think it's like politically immature to feel like, and don't get me wrong, he has some control over certain things, but like I said again, this is a national issue, and the script for it all it's a national one, right? It's a lot bigger than the municipality. What's going on down here right now? And I don't know, are we in agreement with that at least?
No, we're in agreement with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like I was saying, like we got to look at, well, who is accountable? Like, and I don't know if I could say that he's accountable, and I hold him accountable for like damn near everything. You understand what I'm saying? But
he is accountable. Like when you take that job and you're telling the people, you're telling black people in North, they're free. You are the mayor. Your job is to handle their business. And you're saying because they were able to vote for you to put you in office, that means we free, we live in a democracy. So you are responsible. I don't want to hear about...
Wait, but pause. You just said earlier, that we're not living in a democracy, and we're not. This is not a democracy.
No.
So, and are we even in charge with who we're voting for? Because, again, if we're being honest, like in the masses at least, I don't think anyone feels it. And I ran, and I vote, and I still don't feel that, like, what I think and what I feel and who I'm voting for is actually what's, the agenda that's being pushed by the people. I don't, because there would be no way that 3 and 4 generations of people would still be in Newark is extremely transient, right? Would have the same people in over and over and over and over again. So I don't think that there is a true democracy, right? I don't think that the people who we have sitting in these seats have a full carte blanche to powers. I don't believe that. And again, if we are not going to believe that, who is accountable? Who was in charge of allowing those people to come here? And who's in charge of saying that it's a sanctuary city? Well, what's a sanctuary city and what's not? Where the illegal immigrants, I'm not talking about immigrants, the illegal immigrants, who's in charge of just letting them come here anyway? Because in other countries that can happen. And I think that maybe, where we may or may not, agree, and that's okay too, because good conversation is always good conversation. But I don't think millions of immigrants should have just been allowed to come here for any reason. I think that there's a process. I think that they should have abided by the process. I grew up, part of my growing up anyway was in North Newark. I grew up with plenty Hispanics, Dominicans, and immigrants from Mexico who told me personally that the people who were coming over here now were the people that they were trying to escape from. So just because people share that culture don't mean that necessarily they're on board with that. Like, there's a process that I think we should have stuck to. I think that they should not be here without following that process. But at the same time, it's a way to do things, and I definitely don't agree with the inhumane way that that's playing out in front of us. But so I just want to look at who's accountable for that. And if we're going to talk about the systems, let's talk about the systems. Because in all the systems simultaneous with black people who sit in these seats who don't vote for us. You could take what's her name, the rep from Jasmine Crockett. You can take her. You could take LaMonica. Let's start with LaMonica. How did she even get to sit in a congressional seat when she never handed in petitions?
Because of the 7 people. Because of the 7 people that the mayor said run the city.
There you go.
So like when we having that when he says stuff like that, when he slip up and he has those Freudian slips, I need that video too because
I found it for you.
For the first time, he probably telling the truth. But if you come out and say that we live in a democracy, that putting me when I become mayor, you become mayor, and then all these things happen. I know we don't live in a democracy. I know you're lying when you become mayor. I don't become mayor. But when you become mayor, and most of the black, North used to be a majority black city. It's not majority black anymore. All those people that lost their homes, that lost their apartments, all those people that couldn't get jobs, all those people that are suffering, I look at you. Because when you became mayor and now you a millionaire, all these people lost their homes, lost jobs, lost wages, food is going up, gas is going up, and they didn't get the same thing that you got. So now I blame you because you came in front of the people and you lied to the people. Now you said that what's going on, at Delaney, who is it benefiting? How do we take advantage of it? When the cameras come, because the cameras are not going to talk to us. We could try, and this ain't nothing about you, Sheila. CBS, ABC, MSNBC, CNN, MS Now, all these people are not coming to ring your doorbell and listen to what you got to say about what's going on in North. So when they bring all this attention, that is, as Panthers, we study in our political education classes, you use their propaganda against them. So I've been going there, and I've been going there telling people, we have to organize in our communities. We have to come inside our communities and create strategies to be able to defeat these people. But going out here and voting for people like the governor, what's her name, Nikki, whatever, and then voting for Ras Baraka because he's black, he went to a black school, none of that is going to change the conditions that have been here all the way since the Philadelphia Negro. There are only certain jobs we can get in this community. There's only but so far we can go. We really don't control our destinies in this community. That was all the way back in 1896, and it's the same thing going on now. And people like Ras Baraka, these people in office, these people that hold political office, that our tax dollars are going to pay their mortgages, they should be held accountable. I mean, at the end of the day, as the chairman of the party, we hold ourselves as Panthers accountable for where the community is at. So it is our duty to try to build institutions, to erect institutions to serve the people. We never blame the people. And Ras Baraka is not the people. Nobody that work with Ras Baraka, that work in administration, that works at City Hall, these are not the people. These are political operatives.
So it lends the question, right? Are we able to have people in those seats that are not political operatives? No. Because even though we say we vote, and again, I could speak from a lot of different angles from this, just being a homeowner, a taxpayer, just from growing up in Newark, just being there all my life, just being a candidate to just formally run for mayor here in the town. There is we don't have control, like you just said, over our futures and our outcomes. And it's great that we work toward it. And I just want to just pause and say shout out to you for creating this space to have these conversations. It's very, very necessary, right? It is necessary as food and water and air, right? To have these platforms where the truth can be told, where information can be disseminated. And it's never about talking about each other or any people necessarily. It's about the issues that exist, because guess what? Before we were born, these issues still existed, right? We can go back to the 1800s. We could go back to John Brown, right? Him being a white abolitionist, just to switch it up for a minute, that led to a raid on the Federal Armory, right, at Harper's Ferry. But the point was that for all the hard work that he did, what happened to him? He was still killed. You understand? Now, yeah, it helped accelerate the Civil War, but that was a white guy. So it didn't matter.
Pause for a second. I want to say something to you real quick. Mm-hmm. Hey, you know the 2 black people that were supposed to go with him that didn't go?
Yeah.
Who were they?
Why didn't they go? No. Who?
Huh?
Who?
It was 2 black people that were supposed to go with him that told them they were sick, and one of them was like, nah, I don't think it's going to work, and they didn't go with him.
I'm not surprised.
Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass and what's her name? Hey, John, second, what's her name? Harriet Tubman. They was alongside of them. They fought alongside of them. But
no, I could definitely believe that. And matter of fact, I think I did hear that before. I did.
No, but check it out. When he finally got caught, I've been in the streets my whole life. When he finally got caught, what's her name? She said she didn't go because she was sick. And and Frederick Douglass said, I'm not going because I don't know. I don't think that's too smart. Yo, man, my whole life in the streets, when you wait to the last minute and people come up with stories like I'm sick and I don't think it was, I mean, like, I really don't trust. But I didn't mean to cut you off when you brought that up.
No, that was good. No, that was good. No.
Every time I hear about that, I think about our own people and the role that they play in our demise. But I hope I didn't cut you off.
No, that was good stuff. That was a great add-on. No, for sure, because it's important, and again, it just solidifies what I was saying. Though that the circus don't change, only the clowns, right? Because you can speed all the way up into the 60s, right? I want to say 65, right, when they were fighting for voting rights, right?
Yeah.
And the KKK, just to plug in another white person, right, Viola Louisa, right? Mm-hmm. They killed her, right? She came all the way from Detroit. This was, again, a white woman, and she was only 39, came from Detroit, right, to help us fight for the Voting Rights Act. What happened? They killed her. So what I'm saying is, like people say this line all the time, right? All of our skin folk ain't our kin folk, right? And it don't matter what people's skin look like. It matters the passion and the tenacity that they have and contribute to see actual change, right? And some people don't, right? It's a lot of white people that exist that hate black people. They wake up doing it, they go sleep. But at the same time, we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge it's black people that hate us even more. Like the hate in our communities is so deep. Even when I was running, people needed to make up a reason. They didn't have one. Oh, dirty laundry. No, I don't got no dirty laundry. I'm corny. I'm a nerd. We hurt ourselves sometimes. We cut off our nose to spite our face. And when you see that, and you've seen that so much, you just have to form the allies where you can, and you have to look beneath the surface to do so. And like I said, and when you're looking at these systems, who is running these systems? Because when I'm out and I'm digging into the homeless situation and why it is that Essex County has 90% of the homeless in the entire county is in Newark. 90%. And guess what? The majority of times when I'm going out here to interview and talk to people, they're white. They're white. The people living in that old jail over there by NJIT, they're white. So, it could be a race thing because race plays a part, right? We're not going to sit here and act like it doesn't. But my thing is there's not enough conversation given to class and classism. And the black man who thinks he's better, that he really sneakily went down to Trenton, right, to say, take that public housing for them because we're paying rent. Why do they get $35 rent? You understand? That's what's not getting talked about. That's the quiet part out loud, right? But then when they come back here, it's, when I become mayor, you become mayor. Yeah, we're all one. Yeah, the white man or they. That's that mysterious word, they. Like, who is the they? Who are you talking about? Because if you're talking about Republicans, right, or if you're talking about white people, the white people didn't shoot at my house, and I'm sure that's common knowledge at this point that my house was shot on my interest in the politics here in the city. I've lost my job now a number of 9 times, but the last time me being sent home from a public school. Now, I'm supposed to be protected by a union. There is no way in the world of teaching in unions that you can send a teacher. This is not a McDonald's job. You could just fire somebody and that's it. No, there has to be due process. There was no incident, and they literally sent me home suspended without pay. That is impossible. That is illegal. But guess what? When you go home without pay, you can't afford a lawyer. Right? And just to, coexist with what, and I'm trying to attach this to what you were saying about when you was in jail and what happened. Yes, you are guilty until proven innocent. I mean, yes, I think that's what it is. It's supposed to be the other way around. But in reality, that's not what it is. And in these systems, they will not let you work in them if you use your voice to tell truth. So it makes you question or at least examine, should you be telling the people the truth or should you be lying? Because when you look at who's coming out on top, right? And again, it's all goal-oriented. What are your goals? The mayor's goal could not have been to save world peace. And I keep telling people, this is a business. These campaigns have EIN numbers attached. Like right now, like I'm still fighting for issues. So the people Johnny come lately on politics is like, Dag, why you still talking about this stuff? The election is over. Damn, you thought I was in this for an election? No, did the issues die and go away?
Oh, Panther, one second. Not because you said it's common knowledge. We have people from all around the country here. Sheila Montague, the person that you're listening to, the young lady that you're listening to, ran for office in Newark, New Jersey, and during the campaign, somebody went and shot up her house. Like that's the level of violence that is being used in political campaigns, but you don't hear this nationwide. You're not going to hear this on CNN. They're going to say, you want to change things, do it locally. Yo, she just told you. 9 jobs that she got fired. Like you don't have to explain it to me because I already know, Sheila. I know how this thing. But once you go against the system, the people that are in positions of power, they got to try to isolate you. They got to.
That's crazy. It is so. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just got to say, it's so contradictory to what they tell you. Like you just said, oh, you should change it from a local level. You should get involved. No, they really don't want you involved. I'm not a disrespectful person. I share my thoughts, feelings, and ideas. I run for office based on that platform. There's no way violence should have met my home in reference to a gun. There's no way violence should have met me in terms of my finances and my livelihood with my job. And you know that I'm a good teacher because people kept hiring me, sneaking to hire me. And they continued to make these phone calls and to get me out of my job because they didn't want me in my home. They didn't want me advocating for the Newark community. And the quickest way for them to do that was to remove me from my job. And I have been to Irvington. I have been to East Orange. I have been to Patterson, 2 different schools, Passaic, Elizabeth. I was at Essex County College as an adjunct professor. And every time people would get me a job, it's like, oh, my God, what happened? Who? So somebody's making calls to the highest level, like to the superintendent. This last paper I got, it had like 1 or 2 sentences on it. Like I said, you are suspended. And I didn't know what suspended means. Like there was no incident. How did I get suspended? They didn't give me any reasons. And guess what? They didn't have to. They gave me not one reason. And when I went to say, well, let me at least, go to unemployment, oh, they didn't even know if they could give me unemployment because was I really unemployed or suspended?
Or you suspended.
You see what I'm saying? And look. And my house went on a sheriff's sale. Let me share this last part with you. My house went on a sheriff's sale. They already anticipated all of this whole entire outcome before the election because they knew I was running and they didn't want me running. So my house was scheduled for a sheriff's sale on election day, the same day that the police showed up at your house and arrested you.
Hey, yo, but you see, when we say this stuff, when you talk about it, people look at you like you making this stuff up. Yo,
you can't make it up.
There's one part that you didn't say. All the people that come from jail that they employ and pay them not even enough to pay for rent. When during the election time, they deploy these people to intimidate people that's running for office. No, these people are sociopaths. Like when I'm saying, like I understand what you're saying. Yo, I understand you. And like most people out there, you would never hear any of this. You would never hear that people that's running for office, they're getting their house shot up, they're losing their jobs, they're putting their house up. Yo, who are the people that do these things? What kind of a black person, a black man, like we talk about the unions. She's teaching. She said you can't just come in there and tell somebody they're suspended. The unions they got this whole shit they're supposed to go through before they can tell you. They could tell you that. But all these people work together. They're on the mayor's team. They're on this team, on that team. And then when the mayor get mad at you, all the institutions, all the people that they put in positions of power, they use them to come for you. These people are terrorists.
Yeah, they get mad at you too. I remember this was about 15 years ago. I got a phone call from somebody that worked closely with Oprah.
There's some feedback. Hear that? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you got feedback, or is this me?
Yeah, I think I heard some feedback. I'm not sure.
All right, I'm going to check it out. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Sheila.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I got a phone call from somebody, working closely directly with Oprah Winfrey, and they wanted me to come on their show, me and my husband at the time, and speak on behalf of Cory Booker. I could not do that. I mean, just honestly, right? I just at the time was not in agreement to things that was happening in Newark, which I felt like was because of him. And ever since then, it was just one thing after another thing. And then they didn't want me to come on the show because I wasn't invited anymore, because I wasn't going to champion the praises of Cory Booker. So this is what I'm saying. Like, this thing that's happening to Newark, this has been happening way before now. Even if you look back at the last Mayor Sharp James, who went to jail, if he legit did everything that they said that he did, how did he have to go to jail and then were able to turn over at least 4 out of 5 of those convictions? How?
No,
and so they use the courts. The courts are a weapon. Your jobs are a weapon. The banks are a weapon. They could go into your credit reports. You name it, and they could do it. I mean, it's the same way. And you look at, I always say, is it justice or just us, right? Because when you look at the justice system, you see that we make up only 13 or 14% of the nation, allegedly, right? That's another story. But we make up like damn near 90% of the jail system. How is that? But you look at what happened with the Epstein files. You look at that locally, right? You look at it nationally. You look at it even globally. They just announced, the AG announced that there were going to be no arrests. How is that possible?
Because there's no democracy. But thank you. Thank you so much. Because, that's what I want to have here. I want us to be able to come and be able to have these conversations, because you can't have them nowhere else. And if you try to bring it up at the council meeting, they'll cut your mic off, tell the police to come and arrest you. They'll ban you from the council meetings. So it's like we have to create the spaces where we could really have this conversation. And politics is now, that's not it either. That's owned by the city either. I'm sure everybody know that, whatever they call themselves. But thank you so much for everything that you had to say. I
have a quick question for you. We just a community activist just got a seat this election and took office. Like, how do you anticipate that moving forward?
No, I said something about Donna already. I've known Donna for a minute. Look, I don't believe any individual can go in there and change the system. She's not going to be able to go in there and make food less expensive, make housing less expensive, make everything that everything that we got to pay for. We're not going to get bigger wages. We're not going to get anything. The only thing she could use that space for is to be able to have a bully pulpit where she could speak to the people. Like, if she wants to bring the price of rent down, she got to organize the people for them to build their own cooperatives, to be able to start investing their own money in these institutions in the community, to create our own institutions. That way, in 4 years, if she started that now, let's say she implemented a program where she went in the community, you have a house, and she gave somebody else that got a house, and she gave probably like 3, 4, 5 people and connect them with them, and for all of them to start a cooperative to be able to get another house, then get another 10, 100, 200. You're able to use those 4 years to get all those people, some that have it, and the ones that don't, they're lifted up by the other ones that have it, and you have a number of people whose rent you have drastically brought down, because they're not renting no more. They're now property owners. They now own businesses. People will look at that and be like, yeah, I can support that. Let's make this grow bigger. But in 4 years, if there's nothing to show for it other than rhetoric, people are going to lose faith. They're going to be like, yeah, we put Donna in, and I'm still homeless. And I told her, I did it when the first said she was in there, we did a show. And I told her she needs to be ready. She better have her knives sharpened, because they're coming for her. Like, the battle just began.
You know what? I'm sorry. I just want to say that even if nothing happens, because let's just say a best case scenario, she's up there and she's 1 vote out of all the rest, right? That's not my immediate desire for her. I want to hear you fight. I want to just keep that same vote. I don't care if you're the only voice against the other, 8 people that are sitting up there. on the dais, I just need to hear your voice fighting. I don't care if we're winning or not. I need to hear you doing the same fight that you've been doing out in public for years, and I would be content with that. I would think it's hopeful, because, see, the hope dies when no one is fighting at all. You know, when we don't have a voice at all. So as long as we have and maintain a voice, we could be hopeful that someone can hear it, especially when it comes to these privatized corporations that you were mentioning, because those privatized corporations are controlling way too much of our futures and outcomes. They're controlling the schools, and they're also, and that also came with Cory Booker, the charter schools. And now, as you can see, there's a private, what is it, the GEO? What's the name of the Delaney Hall? The privatized, the GEO group, the GEO group that's controlling Delaney Hall. All of these things are connected, and that's what we want to just lift our voices in unison to say no to. And thank you again for having me on your show today.
No, it's our show, man. You good. When I become a show, you become a show. When I get a show, you get a show. Real talk. I really want you. I want you to come. I want different people in the community that are interested politically to show up. Like, I want to have debates. I want people, not debate where, man, shut your dumb ass up. Like, you stupid as hell. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. I want debates where people are intellectual, where we're really coming up with strategies on how to change the material condition. I don't want this to be like any other space. I mean, and I don't have to be the one talking, but we have to create these spaces where we can really have this conversation and show the truth about everything. But thank you so much for coming through, yo.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
All right, so we about to go back to democracy now, but before we go there, yo, Cam, the producers have been going off on me. Cam got her hand up. I'm like, I'm going to get the Cam. Cam, you there, Cam? Cam done left us. General,
Yes,
say
Cam is gone.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, Cam, tell her she could talk now. but let me finish. Up. Yeah, let me finish. Ibrahim, you guys say you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think the ladies, like, the last statement was like the best clarity of the whole thing, is that, you know, the empire does what the empire does, and it's going to expand and destroy. And when you do get people in office, the way to kind of measure success or not is, do they keep their same rhetoric, right? You can see a bunch of people in New York City having the Barack Obama or the Bernie Sanders moment right now, as Mayor Mamdani changes, like, he shifts his language from a rebellious stance to more of a complicit, like, incremental success, right? We can find strength in doing incremental change. No, you came in here on a radical stance, right? Free buses, city grocery store, rent reductions, fighting for New Yorkers and not for people outside of New York. And now you're seeing him take on the agenda of the mayor that came before him. One of the reasons I like this show is because, like, there's like a linear aspect to it, right? Most of the time when you listen to a black show talk about politics, there's a level of confusion. Fundamentally, in the framework, if you listen to, like, Roland Martin, right? Black, when the Democrat comes up, and it's just support. And the confusion a lot of times falls around who has accountability and who don't. So when what's his name? Chris Christie, was that the fat white guy that was y'all governor? So when Christie is in office, things are going wrong because of Chris Christie. Now that Mickey is in office, he's a Democrat, now it's like no accountability, right? It's like when you have somebody that you favor. If I like Africa, when Africa is the chairman, whatever the Black Panther Party don't get achieved, it's okay, he tried his best. Then when somebody else get in that I don't like, and you saw the same thing with Obama versus Trump, right? Obama was, Obama's trying, it's only so much he could do, and then somebody will try to give you a politics one-on-one education. But now that Trump is in there, it's like Trump is ruining this and he's ruining that. And like, wait. Does the seat have power or the person that's in it have power? But I think that's the only win for us right now, because we're so far behind the 8 ball and we have so many sellouts. Is that, do you keep the same stances when you was running for office? You know what I'm saying? And we can measure everybody there. is the AOC that's representing her district, is that the same AOC from the Democratic Socialist Party when she was running? Is that the same Ayanna Pressley? Is that the same Rashida Tlaib? Like this is how you could measure this. If it changes, then it's not, and they complicit, and they just expanding the empire. And this is where a lot of the confusion come from. We could even go like, is that the same Biden? Is that the same Obama? Is that the same Trump? Even with people that you don't like, are they keeping the same language and fighting the same fight now that they got elected prior to them getting elected?
All power to the people. Nah, you're 100%.
One more other thing. We hate to be long. We learned from the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Bloody Sunday, what the media is attracted to. Another thing that the lady said is that, a lot of the people aren't talking about what's going on in Helene, right? It's not like if you was to list 5 or 10 things that's important to the people of North New Jersey, that's not one of them. A lot of times these geopolitical stories get covered, one, because of the nonprofit organizations that pour a lot of money to it, 2, because of the mainstream media sees like what moves the ticker or not, right? And a lot of the more prevalent issues that's concerning, like housing, like eviction, doesn't move the needle. Soon as somebody gets shot up, soon as somebody has a prom, like one of these big proms, right? Oh, that moves the needle. We're going to talk about these stories. You get everybody excited around it. They start clicking on it. It gets a lot of eyeballs. So, like, that's one thing. Like, America is a big propaganda machine, and they kind of feed us information, and they could kind of, I think it was Zuckerberg that once said, people don't just go viral. They make people go viral. They push the button or not. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how important your story is, how many people like. They the one who sends your stuff out. So I think people always got to understand that. Yeah, people may not be interested in what's going on in Delaney and Newark, but because it's getting eyeballs from so many other places, and that may not be organic. That may be somebody, bankrolling this whole situation. So I think people always got to focus on that as well.
Nah, you're 100% correct. I mean, and look, when I went down there, it was a whole bunch of different organizations there. Somebody's bankrolling somebody for them to be there. Even the people that got the tent, who is bankrolling that tent to be out there? But this, excuse me, there's another, there's a whole different prism where we can look at what's going on over there. Who are the people that are affected by what's going on in Delaney Hall? These are immigrants. These immigrants are not coming out to really protest, because they're scared they're going to get deported, even if they got their paperwork. The people that live in Newark, the black residents that live in Newark, they've been told the reason why their life suck is because of these immigrants. The nonprofits in the city of Newark, most of them that get funding, they get funding from like the city, from private businesses that do business with the city. They're not going to send people over there to go protest what's going on over there. The only people that could really go over there are the immigrants. They're the ones that really care about this. And they're not saying nothing because they don't want to get deported. So to me, when I sit here and I see people, white people, whatever people come from somewhere, and they're over there like shining a light on it, I say to myself, like, this is a good opportunity to go on MS Now and tell people that this whole system is cooked. I mean, tell them what's really going on the ground, how this entire system is predatory. Everything about this system, they need to call it predatory democracy, because that's the only thing that that's the only thing we get from around here. The schools prey on us. The tow truck companies prey on us. The stores prey on us. They just raise food prices just because they want to raise them. Everything, gas prices, everything just go up just because they feel like they can do it. Nobody is held accountable. The residents, the taxpayers are being preyed upon. And even if you try to run for office, the people that are already in office are going to prey on the people trying to run for office because they don't want them in there to disturb what they already got going. The crime they're already committing. We got a few minutes left, and it's important that I get through this, because while we're talking about this on the ground, all the because like WBAI, that's not a big corporate station. WBAI is supposed to be the people's station. These people are getting funded millions of dollars every year for them to supposed to speak for the people. But on the ground, when you see what they're doing, you could see the crimes that they're committing against the people. This guy, Bob Henley, listen to the question she asked him, and then watch him take the conversation and direct it straight to the mayor's office, trying to give credibility and credit to the mayor and not the people that's out here struggling, fighting against the things that the mayor has put in place to be able to prey on the community.
Protests at Delaney Hall. His new piece for Salon is titled Escalating Tensions at Newark Migrant Prison Draws Ire of Lawmakers. Bob, if you can go through the weekend with the New Jersey governor, who actually has called for Delaney Hall to be shut down, calling out New Jersey state troopers, and take us through the weekend, right through the state of exception or emergency that the Newark mayor has now imposed.
Now, listen to what she asked them. Talk about the weekend that the police coming out cracking people's heads. They were shooting them with chemical weapons, whatever, all the stuff they're doing there, looking like a war zone. Talk about what's going on there. See, like me, I would talk about the people. I'll talk about the people that are down there, because he's a journalist, and talk about why those people are down there, what's going on. Let's see what Bob Henley say.
So I do think we do have to introduce one element here that in your comprehensive lead-in you didn't include, which was the decision by the Trump administration last week.
See what he just did? See what he just did? He went straight to the Trump administration. She asked him about the people that are outside, that are being brutalized by the state police, North police, all the surrounding police from all the surrounding counties, communities. That's what she asked him. He went to Trump because he's a Democrat. You see, he act like he's here speaking for the people, but he's speaking for the Democratic Party. And look at him. Look at the background. I mean, he poor. He old as hell. He needs some money. I mean, he need money probably to go have that surgery, whatever, to take care of that cancer. Because I remember, I think Amy Goodman a few years ago looked like she was about to die. It looked like she was sick too. Go back probably like 6, 7, 8 years, maybe 10 years. She wasn't going to be able to hold on. All this saying, she got all this life in her now. And she's up here pushing democratic ideals, propaganda. And that's why they got this big head, this big face dude up here. He don't even be in Newark. He don't live in Newark. He do absolutely nothing in Newark. Every time I see him, he's promoting politicians. Yo, this dude came to Newark with him and POP. They had a rally for MacGyver, LaMonica MacGyver, the person that I saw throw families into the streets at First Street. When they sold that property to the developers, they came in there, doubled people's rents, and threw them into the streets. I used to be trying to get my Cam is back. Cam, I'm gonna come to you in a second. I used to be trying to get MacGyver to see the paperwork, to see how these people are stealing these people's money and how they're doubling their rents illegally. She ain't want to look at none of that, because she knew if she buttered their biscuit, they would make her a congressperson. She's in Congress now, and those people are homeless. And then they bring these clowns right here. Look where he live at. He live in Neptune, New Jersey. But they go call him up for him to come tell us what we're dealing with in Newark. Why didn't Democracy Now! Ask the people that was out there? Why they need to ask Bob Henley, the general, what is he, the general manager? The general manager of WBAI.
With Secretary Mullen.
Hold on. Hey, Cam, you had left. Yeah, we was looking for you to see what you wanted to talk about. What, did you want to say something, Cam?
I did. All power to the people.
Do you still remember?
I already do.
Go ahead. All power to the people. Go ahead, Cam.
It's always on my mind. Like yesterday when we had our distribution, we talked to the people. We talked together as a people about what's going on. Right now in Georgia, they're having a redistricting, and people are upset. People feel threatened. People are angry. I get it. But when I talk to the regular people, the conversation is not new. It's not the same. It's the same conversation that people have always been having. Whereas, I mean, I'm left out, and I'm wondering when you're going to talk to me. When you're going to talk not just about me, but when you talk to me and you give me the ability to do something. And I feel like there's a break between just the ordinary person. You know, we wake up and go to bed and we're tired, and there's something wrong with everything that we do. We know it. It's causing us to be physically ill. It's poisoning our minds. And we know something's wrong, and nobody's talking about all of the capabilities that the people have to change that. Instead, we talk about the problems that we already know we have, and it feels good that somebody acknowledges that. But I need you to do more than that. I need you to talk to me about what we have already, how we have the ability to make the life that we want and deserve. We have so many organizations all over the city doing things. They'll never be mentioned on a campaign. You know what I mean? I don't hear how you plan to utilize all of the power available in the people to change this. Why do we have to have the conversation about a vote going back, and you go back and sit down in a golden temple is what it really is, to a system that is designed to keep itself running? I don't go to school and learn about how to deal with my mind or my heart. I don't go to school and learn how to grow food. I don't learn how to build a house. I don't learn how to even survive. I'm completely dependent on this system, and it's made me that way. So I know something's wrong. Even when I go to college, it's like I'm training to assimilate into some part of this system, and it's fooled people into thinking that this part makes you a revolutionary, this part makes you exceptionally aware of things. It doesn't. It's just another little nut or bolt in the system. So, because if it were, we wouldn't be living like this. We would have already been able to change all of this. It's fooled us into believing we are not the deciders. So when they ask for votes, I feel you don't deserve that unless you are doing something to bring the power right back in the hands of the people and make them aware of the power that's available to them. Support the groups and the organizations and get that to be the coalition, get that to be the system. It's a self-sustaining, self-empowering, people-empowering system.
All power to the people. You're 100% correct. Hey, Muta, I'm gonna talk to you in a little bit, Muta, because you ain't get me that stuff yet. Because Muta came up with a great idea. He was like, look, let's promote to have the first meeting for us to all come together and get this get this cooperatives off the ground. He told me that last week. I mean, hey, Melvin, you want to say something, Melvin?
Oh man, listen, listen, my brothers and sisters, I praise you, and the sisters that just spoke, powerful, man, and like she said, the illusion is that you don't have power, and the reason why you don't have power is because you believe in the transcript that's been given to you that you don't have power. Nobody makes a grand effort to oppress powerless people.
Say that again.
Nobody makes a real effort to oppress powerless people. New Jersey have always been going through stuff, man. And I don't know if you're familiar with this organization out there called Step to the Future.
No.
I forgot the young brother's name. He's revolutionary for his people. He has a non-for-profit, and he teaches the young males martial arts, economics. He's been fighting for years to get his own building. He finally got it, and he pays honor to the brothers and sisters who were in the struggle in the 60s. You can ask these young men about them, and they'll tell you who they are.
Where is he from?
He's in Newark. I'm going to give you.
Don't worry, I'm gonna look it up. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, play that Fred Hampton video.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, step to the future. But the sister was 100% correct. The problem is that we don't have problems. The problem is that we've been indoctrinated for such a long time. And I'll leave with this, okay? You can't believe or say that you're a God and all this other stuff and believe that and act like you're helpless. The universe The universe is filled with knowledge and potentials. We just have to get out of what they've given us and go back to the source and our people before we got colonized. And I'll leave it there.
All power to the people. So, like, remember what I told you Bob Henley was going to do. Thanks a lot. Thanks for that, Melvin. But remember what I told you, what he was about to do real quick. Bob Henley's supposed to be here. He's supposed to be a journalist. He's the what is it, general manager of WBAI. So now she asked him what happened in the protest during the weekend when the police came out, the state troopers came out, and they were brutalizing people. Everything that we've seen in the media. Let's see what he says. Oh, he went to Trump first.
Threatening to actually close the international arrival function at Newark Liberty Airport right as the World Cup is about to start. And all of the states in this region have invested heavily in that. Also, what is...
So what he just said, she asked him about what happened in the weekend. She said, he told her, yo, you forgot to mention that Trump and them got, said that he was going to stop flights from coming into international flights from coming into Newark. Even though he knows that all this mayors, the governor, and all these politicians around here have invested heavily in the World Cup. So he's saying, he coming on right off the bat to try to say, like, it's business. This is business. That's why the governor had to send them down there. I mean, but because this is business, and Trump already said that he's going to close down the airport. International flights ain't going to come down. So if they don't send their military force down there to remove those people from out there, Trump is going to do this. Trump has already threatened them this. That's what he's talking about. He didn't say nothing about the people. He's justifying the actions of the politicians to send the military down there. Because the police are mere the military. A cop is a cop. A pig is a pig. To send these people down there to brutalize protesters. He's justifying it. He started off the back by justifying it with the threat that they were going to close down Newark Airport to international travel. That's what his fat head ass is doing. And I'm not supposed to, I'm not supposed to curse, but his head is fat. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'm going to let it go.
Most disturbing, perhaps, is that anyone who's been around for a while, and I have the fortune and privilege to be in that category, you have to recall that in 1967, the deployment during what has been called the rebellion in Newark with the state police and National Guard and the same kind of freelance vibe, it's actually disturbing, resulted in the death of 27 people. And a subsequent report by the Lilly Commission, which was convened by Governor Hughes, much like the Kerner Commission, found that actually the state police and National Guard extended the period of time of civil unrest, contributing to the length of chaos because they actually targeted black businesses for destruction. I'm not suggesting that happened here.
Then why did you bring that up? You're not suggesting. She asked you what happened this weekend when they went down there and they were brutalizing people. First you say Trump in the airport and he stopped international flights. Now you're saying the police came down and was brutalizing people and was going after black businesses. When are you going to get to what's going on down there? Let's see if you get to it.
But it is disturbing that it's such an ahistorical response. And what it does do is make the conflict and the police violence, which of course the likes of the New York Post in 770, that's what they want, takes us off the heroism of the detainees who have written these 3 letters I said last time I was lucky enough to be on with you, where they've written something that I think that historians will say is equivalent to the Declaration of Independence because they so vividly describe the way they've been deprived.
Because now he's talking about the heroism of the people that are locked up inside Delaney Hall. And I'm not disagreeing that they're not heroic. Because I remember when I was locked up and we had to go through a hunger strike to try to get, because you do all these strikes to try to get the attention of people. You want the people to see like what's going on there. So I'm not saying they're not brave. You keep listening to him.
Of all the basic human rights that we come to associate with this nation, and we know from speaking with scholars, they enjoy, and yet we have a period of lawlessness in this country where the Trump administration is...
Yo, you see this video? You see this? This is Newark, New Jersey. This is what the mayor, this is what the governor, this is what they allowed. This is what they sent them down to come and attack the people that was protesting. Not because they was brutalizing anybody. There were riots. They were burning up restaurants, stores. They wasn't doing none of that. They sent these people here late, probably like 10 o'clock at night, around 10, 11, for them to come in and go make those people leave, scare them. That's what they did. These people are supposed to be so smart. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, they just gave those protesters more ammunition. They just gave the whole protest air. Because the protest was dying. The residents of Newark are not going there because they've been socialized to think this has nothing to do with them. When they don't understand, these corporations like Geo Group is the same corporation that's buying your homes and stealing your property in Newark. These the same ones that's buying up on the highways. You got to keep paying more money in toll. Every time you turn around, you got to pay money in toll. The gas stations, everything. People think all of this is not connected. They're only out here because the corporations told them to come out here. And this guy right here that's supposed to be a journalist, he's on here to try to protect the politicians that told them to come out here. Go ahead, finish up, Bob.
Systematically ignoring writ of habeas corpuses that have been issued by Article 3 courts, and I just think it's also foreseeable. You do know, because you covered it when it happened, back in May of 2025.
Guess what you're about to talk about? He's going straight to the mayor. So he done wasted a couple of minutes. He hasn't talked about those people out there protesting, the reason why he's even on the station talking about it. Because if those people were not out there protesting, you wouldn't be right here. If this guy wasn't standing in front of this ICE car right here, whatever state, whoever's driving it, if these people are not out there, ain't nobody talking to you. He hasn't spoken about these people yet.
And, Chairman, you already alluded to it, but Democracy Now! Knows exactly what they're doing. Because back before they was getting funded by the politicians and unions and all that, they used to do on-the-ground reporting. They wouldn't sit in their office and ask the station manager what he think is going on. They would be out there with the people, reporting on the people, talking to the people. But this is what they have become.
Air Baraka was taken off the street by masked federal agents. I recall this all the time because this is when it really started.
When it really started was when they grabbed the mayor, not when they started locking people up in the concentration camp, not when they opened it. That's not when it started. It only started when they locked up the mayor. Because that's what you're there to do, Bob. You're there to protect the people in positions of power, try to make them look like they're saviors. Wait till you listen to what he called MacGyver and them and under Congress people. Listen to this.
And Bonnie Watson Coleman, Congresswoman, 80 pounds, wet, and Representative MacGyver, Representative Menendez, all wrapped around in the tradition of nonviolent self-defense, the Gandhi-esque tradition.
Gandhi-esque tradition, the politicians, these corrupt sociopaths in Congress, these politicians, those are the ones that are the heroes to WBAI, Gandhi-esque. That's what his fat face went to school for. What'd you say?
Chairman, if anybody are looking for the paid actors in such movement, they're the politicians. There's this guy, Bob Henley. There's the fake local activists, the nonprofits that's connected to, that gets funding from the state. If those are all the paid actors, you got the George Soros ticket and money you're looking for, those are the people.
There they go right here. Bob Henley. This dude is no journalist, but he will walk in Newark freely to come in here and have a rally for a council person. I should have had that video up here when I told him to go home. When I told him we're not out here fighting for politicians. Ain't nobody fighting for no congresswoman. Lock her up. Lock her ass up. Don't nobody give a damn. She's a traitor. She's a sellout. She deserves whatever they give her, whatever she get from them.
Slow down the process of these masked agents taking the elected mayor of New Jersey's largest city into custody. Now, at that point, I submit, that's when the state of New Jersey, under the prior administration, needed to stand up a protective corridor for the humanitarian work that's going on there. And that's the upset here, is that folks who are well-intentioned, who see this, what happened in Minneapolis with the assassination of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, they come there, right?
So he's talking about the people in the tent. He's talking about the people in the tent He said they got good intentions to come. They saw what happened to Alex Preddy. That's why these people in the tent, eyes on ice. That's the people that's inside the tent right outside. They've been there for over a year now. They've been there every day. They got a tent. When people come out, they give them stuff. Like they help people call their family, like find out how to get home. Those people, that's who he's talking about. He's not talking about the people that got the whole world looking in, the ones that's out there every day protesting. He gonna get to them in a second.
One second, Chairman. But he also said the eyes on the ice people. He submit that the prior administration, which I guess before Mickey, should have did something for those people. So
No. He was saying they should have did something when they locked the mayor up. The Murphy. I think that's his name, Murphy, right?
Oh, so he was, because I thought he was saying they should have did something. They should have provided more resources to.
No, I'm
to
bringing back a little bit.
Ice people.
Now I'm bringing back a little bit. Look,
humanitarian work that's going on there, and that's the upset here, is that folks who are well-intentioned, who see this, what happened in Minneapolis with the assassination of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, when wet, and Representative McIver, Representative Menendez, all wrapped around in the tradition of nonviolent self-defense, the Gandhi-esque tradition to slow down the process of these masked agents taking the elected mayor of New Jersey's largest city into custody. Now, at that point, I submit, that's when the state of New Jersey, under the prior administration, needed to stand up a protective corridor for the humanitarian work that's going on there. And that's the upset here, is that...
That's what you said?
That's what he's saying, that they should have provided resources for them.
Yeah, so, no, you're right. No, you said that's when they should have had a protective corridor for them. I thought he was saying for the mayor. I thought he was...
So even then, them people that have been doing the work for the past year, the ice on ice, whatever, they, according to him, they weren't getting the support they need from the state or whatever the heck. So you mean to tell me the politicians went down there, did a whole political stunt, and didn't even pay these people?
Yeah, and they didn't
crazy.
They didn't put no protection in there for these people or nothing. I mean, so but who? Who should put it? Yo, how long Mickey, whatever her name is, how long she been in power? I mean, like, who's supposed to put protection there if it's not the governor, it's not the mayor of the city that they're in? I mean, so, like, but he's saying the prior administration should have did it. But how come Mickey Sherrod hasn't done it? How come Ross Baraka hasn't done it?
Folks who are well-intentioned, who see this, what happened in Minneapolis with the assassination of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, they come there ready to engage with a helmet on, gas mask, and what they may not...
You see, now he's saying that they come in there with the helmet and gas mask on, ready to protest. Let me let him finish talking.
No, is that there's a very fragile humanitarian effort, which of course I'm not surprised your reporter captured with Sally there, where they were, when things are calm, individuals are released who have been detained or imprisoned. And it's so important that they be encircled by the beloved community, not by a pool of reporters or protesters, that they be cared for, that they...
Hey, yo, come on, Jen, a second. I hope I got it here. Did you have the video where the dude was coming out and he threw his fist up, like he's telling the people like to keep protesting? Yo, what he's saying is counter to the people that are released. When the people come out of there, yo, they're so happy that there are people outside demanding they be free, because those people were not getting free back then. That's why they started having protests, because they're picking people off the streets that were going to court. But listen to him, though. Listen to what he's saying. He's saying the people that come there with the gas mask come to protest. Number one, when you go there, the people in that tent, they provide you with gas masks. They gave me a gas mask. They gave everybody that I came with a gas mask, because I didn't come with one. So we didn't come there with gas masks ready to fight the police. He's already lying. I mean, we came there, I mean, to find out what was going on. And when you see what's going on during the day, like right now as we're speaking, there are people there right now. There's people there talking, walking around, they're singing songs, they're doing whatever they're doing. There's nobody over there fighting or doing anything. There's no violence going, well, I don't think there's any violence. There are no absolutes. But if you listen to him, he said the people were getting free. People were getting free. If people are getting free, then why did anybody show up? But when you want to make money, when you take these jobs just to make money, this is what you do. They pay you. The unions pay him. The politicians pay him for him to use WBAI to spread propaganda.
They end up, and you may know this area, that part of Ironbound is an industrial area. And so they're literally dumped on the sidewalk, no means to connect with their family, and with these aid workers, this faith-based community enterprise has been going on since the winter of 2025 before people knew what Delaney Hall was. That gets fractured when there's not the disciplined, nonviolent protest going on outside. And so
they're supposed to be independent. When there's when they're not just sitting there in the tent, when these people are standing up there, because what do you mean nonviolent? What violence are you talking about? Who did they brutalize before the police came there? But now, like, he's trying to do it in a slick way. This is with the college education. This is what they teach you how to do with college education, how to lie slickly. I mean, because he already separated. He separated the people out there that's standing in front, refusing ICE to take people in there or take people out. He has separated those people from the people in the tent. And he has separated both of them from the people that are inside. That's what he did with his time on Democracy Now! He didn't talk about none of the issues that people are really going through over there while the people are there. He's there to justify what's going on over there by the politicians. That's his job. Is there another clip of him in here? Or is it another video? I'm done. I can't keep you. There you go again. Listen to him here.
I'd like to bring in Bob Hanley into the conversation. Bob, you're a longtime investigative journalist. You've covered New Jersey for decades. Your perspective, especially on the escalating of violence and use of force outside Delaney Hall by federal agents.
So first, I think it's important to understand, Juan, that Newark was fixated on very early on. Unfortunately, Newark has been introduced because of the great tragedy in Minneapolis, the assassination of Renee Good and Alex Pray. But in point of fact, just days after President Trump was sworn in a second time, they went in and raided a very popular Ironbound, same community, same neighborhood.
Notice something? He always bring it back to Trump. They ask him about what's going on out there. He bring it back to Trump. Then he's going back to the Ironbound where they raided, I think, a fish market that was employing people that didn't have their paperwork, that were employing immigrants and paying them under the table. They didn't lock up the owner. They didn't find the establishment. The only thing they did was lock up they probably locked up people that had their documents. They locked up people. They locked up people in there. Like, I think there was somebody he was an ex-military person, a veteran. They locked that veteran up. They locked people up. But they didn't lock up the people that ran the corporations, the people that's running those sweatshops, paying people slave wages to work in there. I mean, but he's not going to say none of that. All he's saying right here is that this started when they went to go raid that fish market
that this detention facility is in, roughed up a veteran, messed with citizens, and immediately Ras Baraka convened a press conference that was packed.
See that? Come back to Ras Baraka. Ras Baraka convened a press conference. So they done came in and locked people up. They done came in and locked people up, threw them in the gulag, threw them in concentration camp. And what did Ras Baraka do? He had a press conference. He ain't get none of them people out. But he's here to try to promote Ras Baraka. I'm telling you, I don't know how they cut him that check, but I put my life on it. Gun to my head, he got some money. He got something from the Ras Baraka administration. I don't know how they filtered it to him. I don't know if it went through the unions. I don't know how they washed that money with him. But I guarantee you they paid him. Because his old ass ain't leaving his house, coming to Newark to have protests, to go on WBAI, to go out there to go promote this administration, if he's not getting paid.
With 300 people showing the multiracial mosaic and the strong resistance. And so it's also important to know that on May 9th of 2025, Mayor Baraka was seized off the street outside of Delaney Hall, taken inside, but it was I would say, Gandhi-esque move by Bonnie Watson Coleman, 80 years.
Yeah, that Gandhi-esque move. Again, Y'all be listening to these people, man. I'll be listening to them. I check out the different interviews they do, and they got the same game plan. They use the same talking points. Gandhi-esque, huh? Gandhi-esque. And Gandhi was a racist, too.
Old, Representative MacGyver, Robert Menendez Jr., who encircled him to slow down the seizing of an elected mayor of New Jersey's biggest city. And what happened next was he was taken to a black site that nobody knew existed near the airport. Immediately, hundreds and hundreds of people from the community and from out the region.
He's lying. Immediately nothing. The nonprofits that they pay, the nonprofits that they send government money to, like, man, I name them. I'm not afraid of nobody. I could fight. The nonprofits, what you call it? What's it, POP? Pop. Larry Ham. He brought all his people out. He called his people to go out there and fight for Ras Baraka. Who else? Anti-Violence Coalition. Keisha Yuri. All them different people that come from jail. All them people that come from jail and they give jobs to, like just paying them $13, $14 an hour, we should not allow them to pay rent. They get all those people to come out there protesting. So the people, the North residents, they organically go up, get up to go fight for Ras Baraka. North residents didn't go to fight for Ras Baraka. Political operatives. And you, because he was there too. All the people that they paid, they went out there cosplaying. Oh, hey, Ty, you wanted to say something, Ty?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to figure out, as black men, right?
Yeah.
How is the ICE thing our fight?
That's the question?
Yeah.
When did you tap in, Ty? Did you tap in just recently?
Yeah, but I've been had this question for a while.
Oh, nah, you good, Ty. You just wanted to find out because we already talked about it. But you Gucci. Yo, where you at? You at work, my boy?
Yeah.
Yo, you had to live north to find a job, huh?
Shit crazy.
Hey, on that part. Hey, you in Georgia?
Nah, I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, I keep thinking you over there. I keep thinking you in Georgia. Nah, but because we dealing with the same enemy, the same people that's throwing them inside of concentration camps, it's the same people that's controlling the rent, controlling the businesses, everything in our community. So we're fighting imperialism. So when they throw them in there, our job is to try to build alliances with the people that are fighting against the same masters we fighting against.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. You feel me? And keeping it a buck. If you know somebody from the islands, you know somebody from Africa, like they have somebody in their family that they done locked up too. But these people really can't fight because they don't want to get deported themselves.
Okay.
Yo, but how is work going though? You good?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'll be up there on Friday. I leave Thursday night.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna hit you later on. Hey yo, your hair growing back too. You gotta get a haircut, my boy.
Oh yeah, I've been grinding. I've been working doubles, bro, for the last.
I know. All power to the people, yo. Respect, my boy. You heard?
Yeah, respect, brother.
All power to the people, yo. That's the homie Todd, man. He all the way out in North Carolina, man. My boy, he had to run out there to get a job. Ain't no jobs out here.
Encircled this facility, backed up by the Newark police force. That's right. The same police force that a generation earlier had beaten up.
Yeah, but listen, he said they came down there and they grabbed Ras Baraka and they locked him up. And guess who backed him up? The Newark Police Department. Yo, listen, you can't make this up. This is what he out here telling people.
A generation earlier had beaten up Ras Baraka's father, the poet Amiri Baraka, were there in solidarity, so they had no choice but to release the mayor. That story is important here because that happened on May 9th, 2025. And
now remember what he just said just then. Remember what he just said, because that's important to come to this video right here, man. That's very important. Where is he at? Where my boy at? Right here. Listen to this video right here. All right, so who is he? I don't know who he is. I don't know his name, but he works down there at the mayor's office. You see, when they got on them little vests right there, they work down in City Hall somewhere, in one of them nonprofits or whatever that the mayor runs. So they send them down there to come confront the protesters because they know the protesters are white. they're not from around here. I mean, because they won't go out there to fight for the people around here. But they go out there, and what they're looking to do is to challenge these protesters, to show that these protesters don't know what they're doing. They're out here, they're reckless. So, like, that's what his job is. His job is not to go stand next to the protesters and protest what Geo Group, what the corporation is doing. They sent him there to go in there and go challenge his people. Now let's listen to their conversation.
You're such a hypocrite. You can never talk to him.
They're hypocrites. They can never talk to him because they're hypocrites. He's not a hypocrite, standing on the side of the government that killed all our freedom fighters. The same government that's throwing us out of our homes. The same government that's making it impossible for us to eat and survive, that shoot us in the back. He's not a hypocrite for standing with them with his purple sweater on. What is that, pink? His pink sweater on in the summertime. He is not the hypocrite that's standing. Is that a V-neck sweater? He's not the hypocrite. Them that are protesting people being locked up in a concentration camp. They're the hypocrites. Continue, bro.
You can never talk to me about anything. It's a joke. It's a joke. I mean, it's almost like an oxymoron. Really? Yeah, absolutely. Well, I understand the privilege. Well, you're privileged. I don't have privilege in America.
He doesn't have privilege in America. And that's why I wanted to bring it here. Because he's about to go on to this rant for 400 years, my people. No, you're part of Master now. You work in Master House now. You're not with the field Negroes. You a sellout and a traitor. You are out there to go and try to intimidate people protesting, people that are getting picked up and locked up on the streets for no reason. Most of the people in there haven't committed a crime. You're on the side of the police. You're on the side of the government. You are the hypocrite. So for 400, because he's going to start saying, for 400 years, our people, this, that.
And you are showing exactly
right now, at this moment right now, do you feel like you don't have a privilege over us at this moment right now?
Absolutely not.
At this moment.
Absolutely not.
Even though you're on the side of the police, he there with the police, he there with the governor, he there with the mayor, he work for City Hall somewhere, somehow. He don't feel privileged. You're lying. He said he went out with the police. He opened up his vest. Your badge is probably under that white shirt. Yo, like, you're lying. The same thing, you with the police. They're not doing nothing to you right now. They're not about to mace you, bro.
Over 400 years.
It has been happening to him for over 400 years. It ain't been happening to you. You've been a bootlicking Uncle Tom inside Master House for 400 years. If you work with the government, if you're on the side of the government, you are bootlicking Uncle Tom. Go ask Malcolm what he think about people like you. I got 4 minutes left. But he's saying, like, he said he don't have no privilege. And I did that. I wanted to bring it back here because you could hear him. Listen to him right here tell you about the privilege that bruh got. Listen to the privilege he got.
And subsequently, Representative McIver, who represents that area, has been charged with crimes were there in solidarity, so they had no choice but to release the man.
Right there.
A generation earlier, encircled this facility, Juan, backed up by the Newark police force. That's right, the same police force that a generation earlier had beaten up Ras Baraka's father, the poet Amiri Baraka, were there in solidarity, so they had no choice but to release the mayor.
The police was there to protect the mayor because the police work for the mayor. If you work for the police, the police protect you. If you work for the mayor, right now when you go to municipal court, if you go to court in Newark, everybody that work for the city, their court cases go that way. Everybody else court case go that way. Because the people that work for the city, they throw theirs under the table. They take that little whatever, they rip it up, and they get rid of it. You get privilege by working down there. So now when we're having these discussions in our community about who's responsible, you don't want to say the mayor's responsible because that's how your bread is buttered. But you expect me to treat you like a revolutionary even though you're getting paid as a Judas to go out there and stop protests. That's what you're getting paid for. Go out there to go pray. To go pray with, what you call it? To go pray with, where's she at? Where's she at? Yeah, I don't even see it.
You passed?
there. Go back. Go back.
Wait,
Right here. Go forward. Go back.
right here.
Right here.
Look. They,
Do it. They can cuss, they can fuss, they can do whatever.
The rioters can cuss, they can fuss, they can do whatever they want to do. I'm here to pray with the police. So, like, she could have prayed with the police at home, at City Hall. She could have prayed with them at their precinct. She came in front of the cameras. When all the cameras, see the press? All the press is there to come say, I'm praying with the police. I came here to pray with the police. It don't matter what they say. But she's going to tell you. When you see her somewhere, she's going to tell you that she's fighting with the people. She's out there to help the people. Who she holding hands with? Who are these? Look at the politicians. Yumin Yora, whatever his name is back here. All these fake politicians in the city. Who are they standing with? They're not standing with the people. They're standing with the state. They're standing with armed guards of the state against the people protesting a concentration camp. And this is what you see. People like, how dare they talk to her like that? How dare they talk to Roundtree like that? Man, to hell with Roundtree. She look like a, you know what? I was about to say, but I ain't gonna say it because people gonna get mad at me. But she look like something. She look like something. I'm gonna let it ride. I want to play when the people tell me.
Unrest in our community. And back in the evidence is for you.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but the show went off. So we're going to end the screen. We're having technical difficulties. I heard it. I'm closing the show. So all power to the people. See you next week. Apologies.
Oh, you still on?
Yeah, I'm on my end.
Be on there?
Yeah, I told them.